This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Looking back on the past where we still had a chance, we were pawns in a game that we could not win.
This is going to be your quiet time this afternoon.
Okay.
Instead of Dungeons and Dragons, we're just going to have
No,
some ASMR.
no. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Listen,
Oh, was that because I was zenning?
Yes, you
I-
do.
I blocked out a very specific time of the day to play Dungeons and Dragons.
If we're doing naps, I mean,
I'm disappointed.
lie down.
Fun fact, that's actually against Twitch TOS, so we can't nap on screen.
What?
Yeah.
How?
That's
Why?
kind of...
It makes perfect sense. Think about it for 45 seconds. It makes perfect sense.
Oh, are they alive or are they dead? Somebody
No,
call.
it's not even that.
Talking in your sleep, maybe?
I can't think of a reason why other than they want people actually doing things, but...
I mean, that's probably part of it.
I
mean, you're using up bandwidth and not producing content.
But that is content.
Interesting.
It's content that people desire. Listen, if Netflix could have an entire channel dedicated to the Yule log...
This is fair.
A 10-hour video, no less.
Exactly. Anyway, this is not
But yeah,
why we are
it
here.
gets into sort of voyeur laws and things like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some fetish things we don't need to
Yeah.
get into.
Listen. Well, listen. We're here. It's Sunday. It is 4 p.m. on Eat Drink Roll, which means it is time for It's for T-Max. So what we're gonna do today is I am Saint Brian. I am your dungeon master, and I am gonna run a game of Shadowrun for my friends. Wait, no,
No.
that's okay.
We could do that.
What did you
wrong.
just call me? No, I'm just...
We're gonna
Wrong
run a
game.
game of Exalted for my
Thanks.
friends. No,
Listen,
no,
if we
that's
run
not-
Exalted, I'm going to kill so many people. It's going to be amazing.
Give me all the D10s.
Listen,
All of-
I want all those D10s. I want all the dots. It's going to be great.
Anyway, we're gonna play some actual Dungeons and Dragons. T-Max is an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated that operates out of Pinedale, which with exclusive rights to the Chandlewood region. Which, if you don't know where that is, get a map and look it up. Anyway, we're going to introduce the cast, the players for today's game, and we will start where we always start. And let's see if she remembers that it starts with her.
I'd hope so. I'm the only her that I know of. I guess we've never officially announced like our things. I have an adult Lunchable with me because I just got here because I'm starving and I work too much. I'm Clues. I'm playing Gem Weaver, Taker Gnome Extraordinaire. Wait, I'm a plant. Currently,
You are currently
I'm
in
a
Venus flytrap
currently in
dusty
Venus
corner
Flytrap.
with a single
So-
sunbeam shining down on you.
Yeah, it's like that lonely sunbeam, and I just have like my head hung. Almost, I'm picturing more of myself as like one of the Mario kind of like Venus flytraps, and I'm sad about it. So that's what I am. Now, if I get fireballs, that would be cool. I forgot, how long am I supposed to be playing it?
Moving along.
Huh.
We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. Don't you
Hi,
worry.
I'm Viking Goat. I'm not a plant, or Thunica's not a plant anyway.
Yeah.
Yet. However, he's going to go. He's intending on having a chat with some plants soon.
Life goals, man.
Life goals. Be a plant.
Go the David the Gnome route.
Why not?
And going around.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, guess who's next?
I know. Hang on.
I'm building up.
I'm
I'm
arranging my freaking windows.
building up dramatic
My
tension.
my graphics card freaked out and like blacked the screen for a second, and then when it came back, everything was wrong. So
I'm building up dramatic tension with silence. Shut up.
I am playing Hugon Valander, human fighter, and person who is attempting to ingratiate himself with the local political body,
Mm-hmm.
and also, create positive business outcomes
Mm-hmm.
for the Home Office Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yes.
And I am Purple Monkey Robots, aka Roz, playing the Tiefling Bard Eno, and I have just borrowed some studded leather armor, which is currently half on and half on a mannequin, which is tied to my ankle, and I'm dragging it, and I think I might be poisoned. I'm not sure. That's me.
I just imagine like it's that old Looney Tunes thing where like Elmer Fudd goes to tie the tuxedo and the tie on, and it turns out like Bugs Bunny is strapped to his back, like still in the jacket situation. Yes, when we last left our heroes, some shenanigans had occurred. Hugon had a bit of a family reunion with.
I wouldn't like. It's like having a family reunion with a corpse that is being piloted by some malicious intent. So family reunion.
We don't know. We haven't like unpacked all of this yet, so
This
we don't
is
know.
true. We haven't.
We don't know yet.
My supposition.
But during this well, let's back this up. Knowing that there is a threat looming on the outskirts of Pinedale, the team has enacted various clauses, sub-clauses, little known little sidebar parts.
We've also completely made stuff up as we've gone along.
Verbal agreements can be binding. You know, these things happen, but using all of the different franchise contractual language they could, they're attempting to protect Pinedale, their new home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where you hang your hat, and they're trying to protect it. So, some of the Watch members have been dragooned into the AC Inc. Internship program, and are currently going through a culling process. There was the little small tiny issue of a creature of some kind stealing Dren's lamp. The thing that focused her sorceress arcane power. There was a meeting with on a bridge with what we can, for all we know right now, is Marcus Valander. There was some maybe time travel, maybe just viewing the past. It's tough to say exactly what had happened when Dren touched something shiny. But the long and short of this is bad shit is all around. And the attempt now is to try to protect things. So where we find our heroes now, we haven't really split the party. It's just they're all in the same vicinity. We have Thunuk, who's taking over a role of communications director, who had sent some letters to request assistance. He had requested he had sent one bird out to try to spy, I believe, to try to find bad things.
Mm-hmm.
There was a spying bird for bad creatures, and then a spying bird for ley line gates.
Oh yes, it's true. Looking for gates. There was one that was sent out with a missive to the giant that lives in the river that they encountered many moons ago, and there was a messenger bird sent out to the Academy Ren Subtilia, the Mage Academy that is in the process of being established somewhere else in the Chandlewood, to see if help could be arranged. Hugon and Eno, with the aforementioned borrowed or reassigned armor, we could say it was realistically reassigned, are attempting to speak to the different guilds and people of the town an attempt to see which ones they can convince to stay and which ones they're going to be evacuating through their gate to the Shadow Monastery.
We started with the Carpenters Guild, I believe.
We did, and we ended on a very fortuitous roll.
We did.
Where we gave some
It's true.
more things away.
We did.
By the way, any
JD
20s,
Lady, she got them.
Yeah,
Oh.
I still, JD Lady, I got to send you your stuff. And we for this week, anyone who rolls 20s, get started in a chat. And what we're giving away is the opportunity to shave my back. It's a once in a lifetime
I'm
experience.
okay with it as long as it's like not my beard.
Yeah, it's one of those experiential things, right? You know, it's like
it's the petting of the beard. We talked about it.
Well, yeah, but you still got to kick over some cash. You're just gonna touch my beard.
This is not for free.
It's like, listen.
And Dren was turned into a plant.
It
Yes.
happened.
And
And watered.
it was I forget. Oh, you were getting rid of the spider webs that were all over
Yeah,
Eno.
wild magic bud.
And we got another wild magic roll because the arcane focus is not there, so it's just running amok.
No.
And she
And you
was
rolled a
turned
1.
into a Venus
Yeah, and I
flytrap.
rolled a 1. So it's like double compounded hatred towards
It's just,
my magic.
there was a ton of interesting and terrifying rolls last session.
So let us
Really
yeah, there was an abnormal number of 20s, and I'm not complaining about that because some awesome things happened. Things were given
Yeah.
away and things happened in game. And I'm not going to complain about that. But let us start with our resident vegetation. I think we should start there. But I think we should do this part in plant. So, Dren, plant, green plant.
Plant. I'm trying to picture what a plant would sound like.
Well,
Ah.
picture Tolkien talking about how green a certain hill is, and then do that for 800 pages.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
about it. As we know, Ent poetry is long. But I would like a perception roll. A planty perception roll. Because plants do perceive.
They do.
Plantception.
Plantception.
D20 went away. Come back, D20. 10.
10.
I don't perceive well with no eyes.
No, but you are aware of where the sun is. And you feel like there's parts of you, while in some loamy, nice, peaty soil, you feel like you want to reach out to more of that loamy soil. You feel an earthly connection to other soil. But there's something not quite right about the sun that you're receiving.
Am I starving?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Starving
sun-
Venus
the sun is
flytrap.
real. You see, like Venus flytrap kind of like flailing around, but it's super slow motion, so it's like, yeah.
But for a Venus flytrap, it's the equivalent of a Muppet, like,
It's
you know,
really fast.
it's
Yeah,
the
it's-
Kermit
it's
Yay.
You use car deals like
Inflatable,
Yeah.
crazy wailing man.
used car
But-
dealership, wavy man.
The
Yeah.
waving tube man. But
Yeah.
but at plant speed. Really slow.
Like once an hour, a millimeter. Go.
And right as you're
Yeah.
about to, and right as one of your leafy limbs begins to turn ever so slightly to get a better angle of the sun, it's almost like the sun is being blocked, but in very specific areas. Not like a cloud. You know what happens when a cloud goes over. It's okay, cloud goes over. This is more like very specific lines in the sky you feel like are being blocked.
I'm trying to flail around and mouth, the sun is cheese. The sun is cheese.
And poof, you turn back into Dren, my Gem Weaver, sitting in a flower pot.
And doing this, the sun is cheese.
There's dirt all over you. Like in the hair, up in the nostril area. Yes.
Mhm.
But it's like
It's everywhere.
but just like sitting in this flower pot.
Yeah, that's what I'll explode out saying.
The sun is
Did-
cheese.
The sun is cheese.
Did you get bitten by the same spider that I did?
No, you got bit by a spider?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. No. But there's holes in the sun.
And aside from Eno, no one is really turning to look at this because this is kind of like on par. This
Like
is
we're
like,
kind of busy
but no,
doing
but
important
this is,
things.
This is also baseline Dren, right? Like the folks of Pinedale are used to a certain degree of eccentricity regarding their resident Tinker Gnome.
Pretty much.
Well, they're all in the other room though, right? We're in a room. We're in the room where we put Dren next to the window.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Unless you brought Dren with you into one of these rooms to speak. Oh, you just left her out there to.
no, well, my headcanon was that I stayed in that room while Hugon went out and talked to his people because I was preparing my.
I am fine with this. I am fine with this headcanon. This headcanon
Yeah.
is perfectly fine. So yeah,
So-
so you see,
yeah.
you see there, you're tuning up the loot, preparing your words. There's an audible pop, not unlike a kernel of corn popping in a fire, and where there was once a potted Venus flytrap, is now a potted Tinker Gnome,
Right.
yelling at you
The
that
sun is cheese.
the sun is cheese.
What kind of cheese?
The holy kind, like Swiss. Like, there's holes in this thing.
In the cheese or in the sun?
In the sun.
What color are the holes? Are they black?
That's a good question. Was there color? Was it like void of color?
You have no real recollection other than the sense, because plant
Okay.
senses are very different than people's senses, or we'll say
Yeah.
gnome senses.
That's true. I don't have eyes. I didn't have eyes. So I don't. It was more that I felt like there were holes.
Well, it's
There's
probably
like sun, and then there's holes that weren't sun.
it's probably good if you didn't look at. I've heard that if you look at the sun, it's bad.
Well,
If
yeah,
you
but
look
I
at
was
the
a
sun
plant.
too long.
I didn't have eyeballs, so I
Right.
didn't have to look at. I just
That's what I'm
felt
saying.
it.
It's good that
Yeah,
you
don't
didn't.
look now.
I'm not.
She looks up.
No,
Ow.
don't.
Goggles, hang on.
Yeah, goggles on. Mm.
Oh God, they magnify the sun. It's
Wrong ones, wrong ones.
Wrong ones. Those weren't the welding glasses. Shit.
I imagine like it's a Monsters Inc. thing when Mike Wachowski like sprays the stuff in his own eye. Stop!
Pretty much. If I can put on my like shaded ones and I look at the sun, do I see anything weird about it?
Just with your like straight up just looking at the sun.
No, I put on like my shaded.
No, I mean yeah, put on like your welding,
goggles.
like your
yeah,
welding.
and just looking at it.
There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the sun.
Okay. I can't imagine I can Arcana check the sun. it's really
It's
far.
Dungeons and Dragons. We can.
I'll try then.
Okay.
If I can Arcana the sun. What's my
This
plus?
is a bad
That's
bad
right.
path for Drenmai to go down. because if
Ooh. 24.
24. Not so much from the sun, but you're picking up on some kind of very thin tendrils. Further
So
away,
my Nomi senses are picking up on something in the direction of the sun or everywhere up
more
there.
like coming from some nondescript place in the sky, very thin filament leading down into the Chondawood.
But I don't see anything. I can just kind of get my Nomi senses.
Yeah, it's not so much that you could see anything, but it's the thinnest of arcane filaments. Barely noticeable. Whether that's just because of what they're made up of, the distance.
Who's-
you know.
I know Eno's around me. Where's Hugon and Thanuk from me?
So Hugon is in the other room, trying to convince the carpenters guild and carpenter people to stick around and help with the defenses, building the defenses for the impending attack. And Thunuk is on the roof of the Silvered Harrier, sending
Doing bird stuff.
doing the bird message. We named it last week. We called it
Oh,
the Pinedale Post Martins.
Post Martins.
The Pinedale Post Martins.
Sorry.
yeah, it was pretty good actually. I liked it.
Who would have thunk when we begun this thing that Thunuk would actually be like so involved in civics? He set up a youth organization.
He set up a hospital.
A hospital. He has set up a form of postal service.
Yep.
Who'd have thunk it?
Not him.
Thunuk
He
is
never thought it.
a man of the people.
He understands what the
Clearly.
needs are and accidentally meets them.
Yes.
Vote Thunuk.
Vote
I
Thunuk.
think
A vote for Thunuk is a vote for Spider Bacon.
I would vote for Thunuk. I think as I was like, I still have like goggles on, kind of staring up. I'm gonna kind of like reach behind me and grab like Eno's cloak or something.
Give me
And-
a dexterity check.
Shit.
Because,
my
like, Eno-
dexterous.
Eno at this point is trying to take the rest of the armor off the mannequin and put it on.
A 17.
Get those last couple of straps.
Yeah.
So
Like, the boots
you're
are
able
still
to
on there.
blindly read, like you get a couple of those, and you finally grab something that feels like clothing, cloak, something like that.
Yeah,
and-
and I just be like, I
Because
see
there's
something.
not to take this down the wrong path, but at gnomish height, there's going to be a certain
Oh yeah,
grabbing
there's possible grabbage of things.
of the wrong things. But
Full
you're able to
handful.
grab, like, you're not sure if it's an arm or an ankle through one of the holes in the armor, not sure, and just cloth, and you're able to kind of drag him over, like so he's like, so she's able to grab you, and it basically she's able to get like your face like right next to hers,
Okay.
like
Hi.
Yeah, I just be like, and I just kind of want to start walking and dragging. I'd be like, I see stuff over there, and then like while I have cloak in hand, I want to touch my. I'm gonna kind of like bash my gauntlet
But
for
you're
the
d-
talkie
but you're
thing.
so as she's doing this,
Yeah,
it's
so
bringing
I'm
Eno's
kind
head
of bringing
like,
Eno with.
I want to make a strength check.
okay,
Just
we have the
Okay.
weirdest PvP in this game.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's a 9.
9. No, I'm sorry. Dren is a
Struggle is
strong
real.
ass
I
gnome.
actually am
But-
very strong.
And as she's playing, like, but I'm supposed to talk to the miners.
I feel like we
Give
have.
me-
There's
I have to
magical
talk-
bullshit, and it's kind of like coming across in dots because Eno's fighting me back. So
To
it's like,
talk
magical
The
bullshit
miners.
coming through,
Talk
and we
The
need
miners.
Pinedale.
You hear the door slam open as Hugon like strides out. Oh, you're not a plant anymore. How inconvenient. What the fuck do you want?
There's magical stuff going. for
Okay,
Pinedale.
I
We
need
should go.
Eno. Let him go.
Oh,
You
sorry, Eno.
investigate the magical bullshit on your own. Report
Ooh,
back
on my
if you
own?
find anything interesting.
Glow.
I don't care what you do.
I don't even think there was a question. I think it's before the words even left his mouth. Just boing, like out the door.
Pretty much. Like,
You
oh
got
my god,
looks at-
yay!
Hugon looks at Eno and is like, are you sober yet?
Am I?
Constitution check.
What is with the 8s? God damn it.
Hey, you know why, Ross? You know Rise? 'Cause you
I
rolled-
know. I rolled really well last night.
And in your own mind,
No.
You-
So it's just a straight Constitution check?
yeah, or save. We'll
Okay.
say Constitution save. We'll say.
Oh, save?
Yeah, it'll be a con save in this case.
Oh, it's the same then. It's 10.
In your own mind, you are as sober as you need to be.
I'm fine. I'm just trying to get the rest of this armor on.
Well, hurry up, and then you need to talk to the miners.
I'm gonna talk to him.
Okay,
Just give me
good.
1 minute. So,
All right. And like Hugon crosses his arms and stares at Eno until he's ready.
all right. So, do I need to like roll to see if I can get the rest of the armor on and off the
Well, first you need to do.
Mannequin.
I think we need to do a wisdom check because you got a dude staring at you now,
A wisdom check.
just
All
to
right.
see, are you able to do it with all this attention focused on you right now, man? I mean,
Well, I realized
Collapse into a heap of limbs.
that I'm actually supposed to be adding jack of all trades to this, and then, so it's actually not a -1. It's a 0. Hey, that's not bad. That's a 14.
14. All right, so that's your wisdom.
That's my wisdom check.
Yeah, you were okay. So you're able to. It's not bothering you. He's staring at you. You're zoned in, man. You're able
Alright,
to get this.
not
so
paying
let's-
attention to it.
So let's get this dex check going here. We got
Okay. A
Although-
dexterity check.
not a dex save. I think you're fine. It's
A dex save or a dex check?
dex check. It's not a dex
Check.
save.
I thought you
Being
just said
saved
save.
from the
The
armor.
armor stabs you. What? How?
That's a 16.
Real dad. Stab.
That's a
The-
16.
The armor wears you.
Why does armor stab? It doesn't make sense.
So no, that's a 16.
You're able to extricate yourself from the mannequin. Finally, get everything on the right direction. Like at one point, it was like, you had it on backwards. You're finally able to get like the mannequin out, but then like it was like get it on, but backwards. Oh crap! Because like now the neck's like too high. Like no, that's not right. I feel kind of naked back here. So getting out and still can't get it. And then it's like, well, maybe I got to do it with the mannequin. I don't know. And then finally, you're able to get it. Like, all right.
Some of the pieces I still had my old armor on. I was trying
Yeah.
to put the new armor on over top of the old armor. So
And
I
it
had
felt
to
like a
take
lot
the
like
old
that
armor
time you
off.
wore 2 pairs of underwear, and it
Yeah.
just something like you felt protected.
Damn it.
You felt protected, but just not right.
I untied the mannequin from my ankle. It was. I said, how do I look? Do I look okay?
Go talk to the miners.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to the miners. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. So I've got my loot going. I got it on. Performance. I'm just gonna walk out in front of the miners, and I'm just gonna
Rock their world.
I'm gonna strum a chord.
Mhm.
And then so I'm gonna roll a performance check.
Okay.
All right.
And this is your song to try to convince them to.
Yeah.
Okay. So because we have to add the fear modifier here. So there will be a -4 to your check.
Minus
Modifier?
4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right. That's okay. So that's a 19 with the fear
Oh
modifier.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well-
fuck your fear.
Well, listen. You would
Okay.
I
hope
have a plus
Rocked.
10.
you
to
would hope
performance.
you would hope nothing less from a bard, right?
Okay.
Then it'd be like then you're just a bad bard. Okay.
So he starts strumming and he goes, there's a bad man with a mask. He picked a fight with us, wants to wipe us off the map. Oh, Pinedale needs your help to stop smelting for a minute. If you assist us, we could win it. We need some trenches and some barricades. Maybe a rock trap while you're at it. I just hope it's not all in vain. Anything you need, we don't have much time. What's mine is yours while the sun still shines on Pinedale.
That was really good.
Fucking metal. Yeah.
I have to grant you inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you.
You get an inspiration.
Also,
die for
also
that.
remove one of your Satan dice, Brian.
You know what? Okay,
Also do
I'll,
that.
I'll give you a choice.
Mhm.
I will give you a choice.
do both,
You can
Dan.
either
Nope.
take an
No,
inspiration
we're-
die, or
we're
I'll take
right.
away one of the demon dice.
I'll take inspiration. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't,
So I will give you a D20 inspiration for that.
Okay.
That's
So and so he says, and then when he's done, he stares at the ceiling for like maybe a little bit longer than he should for like 30 seconds, and he goes, thank you very much, and then he walks back to the other room.
okay. All right. So we said we've done the carpenters, we've done the miners. There are still the Smiths, not the band. Not the band. That's a whole other thing there. But before you guys decide how you're going to approach the Smiths, and then we just have like the rest of the common folk, like the that family members, people who have like the general skills around town that aren't necessarily in one of these specific guilds. Let's go over to our civically minded capybara, Thonic Gentletrunk.
Civic capybara, civics capybara. No. I'm trying to find an alliterative way to say that also made sense syllable-wise. Yes, he heard some of this talk about the sun and stuff, and he's like, "Sun looks fine." And he's gonna get on the wrist thing and it's like, "Ryan, the sun looks fine. What do you mean?"
It's not so much that it looks weird, it's that it's acting weird.
Looks at the sun again.
Stop looking at it.
How is it acting weird?
But I feel like as she's saying that, right? It's like she says stop looking at it through the radio, but she's also standing right behind you. She's already like climbed up.
Yeah. She's probably already up on the roof with me and like
but still using the radio.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you're texting your friend or someone like literally across the room. Well, there's kind of like it's like an octopus came out of the sun and is attacking Pinedale.
Well, you saw these filaments were further out in the Chondawood.
Oh, they weren't coming from the sun.
No, some indiscriminate place in the sky.
Okay, there's sky octopi attacking Pinedale.
But the Chondawood, they're going into. Now I'm not saying Dren can describe it any way she wants.
Yeah, that'd probably be my description. There's sky octopi attacking the area.
That's not good. I don't see them. They must be invisible. We have to.
Yeah, it's like magical bullshit.
Oh.
It felt funny when I was a plant, besides being a plant.
You were a plant?
I was.
That's so cool.
I know.
What kind of plant were you?
I was a Venus flytrap.
Well, those are interesting plants. Not much for conversation normally, but they're interesting plants.
No, and I didn't get to eat anything either.
Are you hungry? Were you hungry?
No, well, when I had the sun thing, I was kind of hungry, but I might be a little hungry now. When was the last time I ate? I don't remember. I might be hungry. I'm very confused. I've changed multiple bodies now over the past hour, so it's kind of weird feeling.
That sounds like it could be very strange. You want to go with me into the forest? I need to talk to some trees.
That's perfect, because I need to go find where the sky octopi are attacking.
We should also maybe... No, they're not supposed to go in the forest. We shouldn't ask the potato scouts.
Okay.
Although they may have seen something.
Do you have like a really trusted one?
I do, actually, but they're all kids and they're not allowed to go in the forest because it's dangerous.
Okay.
But...
And you hear this little voice from the corner. I can go.
No, you can't.
You can't, Phantom Child.
You're not supposed to. It's dangerous. Now it's not just gnolls, but there's werewolves too. That's very, very dangerous.
But they can't see me.
I can't see you. Where the hell is this person?
Perception check.
Damn. 9.
You have no idea. You just, it's like...
Phantom Child.
A pile of rubbish animates in the corner. Oh, Jesus.
That's actually what happens. There's like a little pile of stuff in the corner, like of garbage that hasn't made its way down yet, and like the kid comes out, like just sort of stands up and just like it's hanging.
It's like those dolls from the 80s that fold into like soccer balls and crap like that.
Yeah.
Popples.
Popples? That's what they're called?
Yeah, well, Yeah, some of them were. They're like, yeah, ball, and but as soon as it comes up, and it's just like you hear like the sort of like the rustling of garbage as it stands up, and there's like a banana peel on the head, and like, and he stands. He goes,
Your parents are so negligent.
I can hide good.
I know you can hide good. I didn't even realize you were there.
I know.
But it's dangerous.
What if
Yeah.
we ask the parents? We're not supposed to. We're supposed to be doing recon, so we shouldn't get into anything dangerous, in theory.
We're just looking.
Mm. Mm.
I'm 400 years old. I'm on the same level as a child. This is how it works.
We're really good at. They never saw us when we were out there before. We're really good at this.
Mm.
Like the surrounding area rumbles as the Nook's going.
The air is like vibrating.
People downstairs like, is that
What
thunder?
the fuck is that?
Yeah. Please, 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 please.
Okay.
I'm so glad that Hugon isn't in the room.
Oh, Hugo would be like, no, kicks him off the roof.
But you have
Takes
to be
you off the roof.
super careful and don't go very far. Okay?
Okay, and like 4 more kids like appear from like all different places from on the roof and like scuttle down the roof.
You don't just get one, you get a horde.
Like it's like these
Part of the roof detaches because it's
Yeah.
all potato shells.
It's a pack animal.
What the hell?
It looks like one has like some like brick kind of like stuff like painted on it, a little bit, and like he just kind of appears out of the wall, and like he pulls like the top of his potato sack off, and like just
They're a bunch of little ninjas. If they ever decide to become violent or good at it,
We're screwed.
violence.
Or Hugon's gonna recruit them all once.
Oh
they're
no, that's
ready.
exactly what's gonna happen. Listen, this whole town attack thing is setting back some plans.
but revealing new ones.
as they all scurry off, he's like, "Oh no, that's too many!" He starts chasing after them, but they have probably disappeared into the literal woodwork of the town.
Yeah, it's like you have trouble keeping track of them as they like move from like alley to alley and like through the streets. It's just like they seem to be able to like almost disappear at a whim. Like when
Little Batman.
when they stop moving, it's like, wait, where did they go? As long as they're moving, you can see them, but like they're quick. I mean, kids are quick.
Mhm.
I mean, you've seen it. I mean, listen, we know. We have someone here who knows that the second you turn your back on one of them, and it's like one of these. Ready? You took away
You've
and
seen
back,
my mini
and
unit packs.
they phase.
Mhm.
They're like little phase spiders. So, just
Sounds nightmarish. Oh wait, we encountered those. That was nightmarish.
It was bad, like just all around.
blink. So you and Dren are gonna head off into the woods though as well to talk to some trees.
Also frantically running, thinking he is right on the tail of one or two of these kids, but obviously he can't see any of them.
So it's. Do we have the usual configuration of Dren using you as a mount?
Oh yeah, I'm
So-
not fast, so.
So I think so. In my head canon, the way I envision this is that the kids, they're like off the roof and down, and it's, oh no, there's too many. And as soon as like you're going, it's like, would it be a case of where Thunuk remembered to grab Dren, or is Dren just like as he
She
leaps
already
off the
crawled
roof?
up there.
Huh?
She already crawled up there earlier. Because she talked both on the wrist guard and into my ear.
Oh, okay, that's when she was up there. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
just sort of like her talking position is on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably didn't even realize she was like scurrying up because
Things do
He's
that a
just-
lot.
yeah, and he's huge and he can't really tell when things are crawling on him half the time, I'm guessing.
All right. So and the town just sees Thunuk thump 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 like running again for the second time today towards the bridge. Drenmai on top. And it's getting to be the thing where it does draw some attention to see this 10-foot tall Firbolg,
Hmm.
running as gingerly as possible through town. Let us go. Let us go down to the back to the where the miners are gathered. Who was speaking? Or no, oh, no, not the miners. Excuse me. We have the Smiths and we have the commoners.
I think Thunuk was supposed to speak to one of them.
No,
Was that not decided? Okay, good. 'Cause I
no.
was like, well, now
No,
we're
he wasn't with you.
Oh, that's right.
He was sending.
He was supposed to go talk to Grimoire.
That's right. That's right. You're right. So we have who's left?
The Smiths, the varying Smiths of town, and then you've got sort of like a catch-all of commoners, who kind of make up like any of the other craftspeople in town that wouldn't be one of the so because of the nature of the town, these are the carpenters, the miners, and the Smiths are really going to be like your mainstay. Like the majority of people in town are going to have fall into one of those three areas, and then you've got everyone else who's sort of like the support, who might
Like
be
the grocers and the lumber workers.
exactly,
Things
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
That might be skilled laborers, but in a different realm. There's just not as many of them because how many, if there are plumbers, how many plumbers would you need in this town? Well,
Right,
you've
of
got your
course.
couple, and that's what you've got it covered. Brewers. There's a fair amount of brewers, but again, how many brewers can this town support?
Not enough.
I think definitely we want to talk to the Smiths.
Now, were they all in the same room, or are they like being brought in?
Yeah, different
us to
rooms.
talk.
Yeah, being
Are
brought
they
in.
in different rooms?
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
organized.
So, Hugon, I can just sing them the same song. It's Smiths, Miners. It's almost the same thing. It would still work.
The song stays the same.
You think that'll work?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Well-
I mean,
Uh,
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
You're very good at affecting people's minds that way.
So he just makes sure his lute's still tuned up,
Mhm.
and
Dude, a half key down.
he's
It's like,
Let's go to a minor key on this one.
Yeah, he's gonna do like a revival of the song, so. Do you want me to? So I go and do you want me to do another performance check?
You do, yes, and you have
All right.
another -4 to this one.
All right.
You and your fours.
Listen, this guy's rolling well for me right now.
Okay, Cathris. Oh, hey, guess what? I rolled a 4.
Ah, damn it.
But
So
it's a
that's
+10.
14, so that's a 10. Yeah, it's not. That's
Inspiration?
Not good. All right, I'm gonna burn it. Why not?
Did you do the?
Hey, that's a 20.
Ah!
Okay.
So that's a 30. So that's
Wow.
a 26. So that's a 26.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the Smiths. Okay, I will not make you sing the song again. As
right.
lovely as the song was, that is not any kind of
So this time I'll just like said, I won't sing the whole thing again, but so this time he sings it like a little bit differently, but he uses like thaumaturgy and prestidigitation to like he creates like little drum beats in the background, and
yeah.
and the lights in the room, like candle lights, kind of dim a little bit, and then like there's one light behind him that like gets brighter as the song keeps going. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you've already workshopped the song live once.
Yeah.
You know how
yeah.
it works. Now we can start adding
That was the sound check.
the
And
accoutrement.
this is like the real performance. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right, so we got 20.
Thank you, Pinedale. And then he walks back out of there.
Destroys his instrument.
No.
No, shit, no, don't do that.
So I guess Hugon, that leaves you to try to talk with the commoners.
All right. Like you got is like super impressed because I imagine he was nearby for this
Mhm.
song. I was like, oh, okay, well, wish I could do that. All right. So what would Hugon be
Wish
needing
I
to
could
roll here?
sing.
What sort of check would Hugon need?
Well,
to
this
roll?
would be some kind of it could be our persuasion check. It could be an intimidation check if that's the way that Hugon would like to go in this situation. Those would probably be the two that you would really want to go for on
Alright.
this, unless
We'll
unless
try-
you can make, unless you can convince me like an athletics check would be appropriate. Guys, watch me bench. This
Watch
is,
me do gymnastics routine, something like that.
watch me get swole. It's gains o'clock, guys. Let's do it.
How could you possibly be defeated
Yeah.
someone like me? No, we're not doing that. Although that is amazing. We're not doing
Arm wrestle you for it. Boom.
it. Everyone who loses at arm wrestling has to stay and serve. Oh.
I like it.
So we'll try persuasion.
Do a
Oh,
Swade.
Yeah, I'll do.
Oh wait, hang
swing.
on. I gotta give you your
Yeah, go,
your
give
fear
me my,
modifier. Well, you get a fear modifier of -1.
Okay.
Dude, listen. The dice does what it
Fair
does,
enough.
and you still killed both of those rolls with
It's true. So,
fear cannot overcome the power of
fear
song,
cannot over-
man.
all right, persuade.
Persuade.
15.
15. So what kind of just give us a little. Let's flavor this a little bit.
Hugon is not like a flowery speaker at
No.
all.
No, he is not. Very direct, to the point.
I guess it's really a matter of like. I think he would be speaking to the sort of their, not necessarily their self-preservation,
Mm-hmm.
but like this sort of, that sort of community unity,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, which is doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because unity isn't both of those
You
words.
can't
but
spell community
without
without
unity,
unity, man.
God defend me from ever having to say that out loud. But essentially, he would probably break down for them like, listen, what we're up against is pretty significant and it's extremely dangerous. But if we fail, if we're not successful, it's not an understatement to say that we have no future here. And you have the opportunity to protect what you already have rather than having to flee and rebuild your lives somewhere else.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you what these rolls did for you. So we've got a few rolls here. So we got to unpack the results here so you can understand what this does for you. So as you're making these speeches, you're sort of able to pick up, that you did pretty well with the folks that you spoke to. You're getting some nods. There's still fear in the room. Obviously, this is some bad thing. This is ill omens await. But as you guys are finishing up this, you're kind of like reconnoitering with yourselves, and the like self-selected spokesperson for each one of these groups, as you see some people filing out, and you hear whispers of getting ready to what things do they need to pack. They know that they're supposed to meet by the Silver Harrier, so that way they can eventually go through the gate. But what these rolls have done for you is told you about how many work crews you were able to muster from among these groups. And then you can start figuring out exactly how you would like to put them to use. We said sundown the following day, so we have approximately 24, about 30 hours with which to work at this point. So for the carpenters, because you rolled a crit on that one, you have 5 work crews that are able to stay in each work crew.
5 crews.
Yeah, 5 workers of about 4 to 5 people.
Wow.
Okay. Plus, one of these work crews does include like a master level carpenter. So that's actually going to reduce some of the time. So you'll be able to you'll be able to assign these individual work crews to different tasks, and then it's kind of like when you're doing if we're doing like RTS, like the more commoners, the more peons, for and
pile them on.
yeah, the faster the structure is able to be built. So you're able to do 5 work crews with them, plus one of those has like one of the master carpenter people. For the miners, you have 5 work crews for that as well, for such a prestigious role. For the smiths, you have 5 work crews plus you have another master smith.
Amazing.
I don't know. Maybe he's older. Maybe he's Mr. Smith. I don't know.
Maybe.
But you have a master smith.
The Smith.
So you're able to you'll have 5 work crews to put to use there, and with the commoners, the assorted other people, you were able to muster up 4 work crews.
Okay.
So basically, what you can do with them. So we're gonna take a step away to our other group here, to our jolly adventurers in the forest, our babysitters, our adventures in babysitting in the woods, in the lethal woods. We'll pick up on that in a second. But what you can do with them is each work crew. So it depends what you want to do. So we could actually do it this way. You could tell me what you guys would like to do with these work crews, and I'll tell you about how that would work out, like how many work crews you would need to assign and how long it would take them to do that with all of the things. So think about that. Think about that for a few moments.
Okay.
While we do a swish pan over to
54 bottles of potions on the wall. 54 bottles of potions. Teaching the kids good songs.
And as you enter in, as you cross over this bridge, and as we described this bridge before, it is high enough that a small boat could pass underneath it for purposes of trade, and it is wide enough for 2 carts to pass side by side. You crest over the bridge where you saw Marcus Philander the day before. You come down on the other side. The kids, not a lot of places to hide on the bridge themselves. You are able to see the kids cross over the bridge in front of you, and they're never really moving that far away from you. They're always within probably 100 to 150 feet of you.
Oh, okay.
They're not, because you did tell them to stay close.
Mhm.
But as you cross over to the other side of the bridge, you can see it's that thing where they're kind of like, it's like when Dad says you can ride to the corner, you can ride up to 1 block away, and they're kind of waiting, and as soon as Dad gets close enough, cross the street and start going again. Just that way they can always stay, and that's kind of what they're doing with you as you're crossing over here. And then the kids, almost as soon as so it's like you get to the other side of the bridge, the river is, rushing underneath. It's summer level now. It's not the spring floods where it's like almost a rapid, but it's still swollen as it does during the summer. And there is like a little bit of a clear area of probably about 20, 30 feet when you reach the other side. The woods don't get directly up to the riverbank here. But then you see the road and it winds off into the woods, and the kids, like almost as soon as they hit the tree line, are vanished from view. Like it's as if they did like a cannonball into a deep pile of leaves.
Mm-hmm. And
just disappear. And it's just like, and if they sit very still, like you would never know that they were in that pile of leaves. But this is a lush green forest in the height of summer, so they were able to just like disappear into all like. And you think if you tried very, very hard and concentrated very, very hard, you might be able to pick them up as they are, scurrying from tree to tree, from bush to bush, from plant to plant, sometimes from branch to branch as they're like up in the trees. And if the trees grow close enough to each other, you can see them doing like the little,
It's almost like you don't know they're there unless you know they're there. Like you can't see them unless you know they're there.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And even when you do know they're there, it's kind of like, man, did I see, is that really them, or did I see like a very bold squirrel?
Very fat squirrel.
Very fat. Was it a
successful squirrel?
Was it a big boy? Yes. Was it a big boy? He's gotten a head start on that whole winter thing, and he's not letting go. He's like, I'm not hiding my nuts. I'm eating my nuts. I'm eating all the nuts, and then I'll eat your nuts. So, and what you do for give me a perception give me a perception check.
Okay. Maybe I should put a bit more finesse on that roll. That's a total of a 7.
7. I'll give this. I'll let you take advantage because it is nature related.
Hold on. What was my bonus again?
Oh.
4. 19.
19. What you find very interesting as these kids are traversing through the forest is that the birds don't stop chirping.
Oh,
And you from experience, you know that when certain creatures, especially humans, move through the woods, things tend to get a little quieter in their general vicinity. But with these kids, it just seems like the birds aren't even taking notice of them.
wow.
And you can apply that down. You can tease out that piece of logic and say maybe yeah, the squirrels don't seem to be running away. It just seems like the kids are able to move. Either they've achieved some kind of commune with nature, or they're just able to move that silently, and that that they're able to not disturb what's around them
Dang.
because potatoes are sneaky.
Yes.
I like how potatoes have like just multitudinous traits of like high mobility, dexterity, stealth.
Have you ever seen a
Parkour.
potato? Have you ever seen a potato in the wild?
Yeah.
They're totally tubular.
Because it let you see it in the wild.
Totally tubular.
Totally tubular. It's there. So Dren and Thunic, what are you guys looking to do here?
I'm gonna do an Arcana check just to see if I get a sense of like where I should be going.
Okay.
11.
You can still sense these filaments that are out there. And you have a
Okay.
general idea of kind of like, as you're starting to triangulate, it's kind of like in this, anywhere from this range to this range.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that the Chandlewood tends to, it can sometimes wreak a little havoc with your magical senses because there's so much magic within the Chandlewood that it's almost like, it's like trying to see a picture through static sometimes.
Okay.
It's like the scrambled pay-per-view channel. You can kind of see what's going on there, but without taking some more time, you're not really sure what movie you're seeing. It's or exactly what's happening.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of just be like, well, we may need to go this way, but I'm still not sure what.
Are you doing the Ratatouille routine with him again, or
Yeah, not quite grabbing hair, but like he'll probably see on either side of his head like a
Ears.
hand kind of going this way.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, nah.
You
But
can
no,
always sort of
no.
hear when people are like moving their hand near your ear anyway. So
Yeah.
he's sitting
Yeah,
going
so it's
like on the other
probably more
side, like
that.
on this side going like this, and then on this side going.
Yeah.
And Thunic, what are you doing with this? Because you had a plan to come out and speak to some trees.
he's going to actually go ahead and follow Dren's directions.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he's going to, under his breath, he's going to be praying and speaking to the all the trees that they pass. And the prayer that he's putting through is basically so he can cast plant growth.
Okay.
And if he can pull it off, he's going to try and spend about 8 hours on this.
Oh. Okay.
Fascinating.
So this is
I
going to be
like
this is a nice long sojourn into the forest.
Yes, he's
Okay.
basically going to encircle Pinedale.
Oh, plant growth, 3rd level transmutation,
Mhm.
1 action or 8. Oh my god, or 8 hours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jesus.
I like it.
Okay.
I like where this plan is going.
So this spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. There are two possible uses for the spell, granting either immediate or long-term benefits. So you're using the long-term benefits, right?
Yep.
If you cast this spell over 8 hours, you enrich the land. Ooh. All plants in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range become enriched for 1 year.
Yep.
Oh my god. The plants yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested. So what is it, I guess, what is the more immediate hope that you are hoping to achieve with this particular ritualistic casting?
The idea is he is requesting assistance from the Four and from the trees and plants in the area
Mm-hmm.
to aid and defend Pinedale.
Okay.
They're not ents, so they can't exactly like slap people around and
Yeah.
stuff. But they can have boughs that are like branches and boughs that are due for falling off because of something or another. Maybe mysteriously just fall off and hit someone on the head. Or
Well, like a Sleeping Beauty and have like a bramble forest
exactly. Or,
emerge.
Like maybe the roots stick a little further out of the ground than usual.
yeah.
Maybe the
Or-
thorns are especially sharp.
Or dripping poison.
Well, maybe
And, you know,
maybe it's at the
Satan's in there too while we're at it.
maybe the thorn bush is growing a little bit too close to the poison ivy bush and the poison sumac bush.
Everything's working together.
Maybe it's that.
Pinedale is in the middle of a death world, so
Well, actually, so you know what it would be? It would not. There would be poison ivy. I mean, because that's just ubiquitous, right? Maybe there's a poisonous plant from Australia that I'm trying to think of.
of course there is.
That actually causes like horses
like
to kill
all of them?
themselves. But it's actually caused like
Huh?
Yeah.
How?
the burn it causes is so painful. Here it is. The
Welcome to the plane of Strel.
Dendronide mirides, otherwise known as the stinging bush, the mulberry-leaved stinger, the gimpy, the gimpy stinger, the suicide plant, or the moonlighter.
What?
I'm not lying.
This sounds
All
a
of those
lot.
are-
Kind of like the Moonlighter.
The fruit is edible to humans if the stinging hairs that cover it are removed.
Aside from that, this almost sounds like a particular plant that grows in Florida. That if it catches fire, it's basically mustard gas.
Oh
Like
God.
a level 3 biohazard. Like,
Yep.
jeez.
Yeah,
Run!
yeah. It's the best
You
known
can't touch the
stinging
leaves.
hairs. Actually, do me a favor. Give me another nature roll because I want to see. Well, let's see if this plant actually grows for you.
Okay.
It is best known for stinging hairs that cover the whole plant and deliver a potent neurotoxin when touched.
Amazing. Thank you, Australia.
16.
I think you get a feeling from the forest that it is willing to see if maybe some of those plants could be nurtured a little bit. You'll have to, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
You do also get a feeling from the forest in general of just a little enmity towards Dren.
He can't really stop his. Maybe he can. As long as he keeps it up for the next 8 hours, he can take
Mhm.
little breaks here and there. I imagine. And he stops in his tracks and he realizes and says, "Dren, why does the forest hate you? What did you do?"
Do I have any sense that I've done anything? Like I would remember something?
Do an intelligence check.
Oh no. Wait, where'd my character sheet go?
This is
There it
more
is.
just to
Okay.
see what how Dren's ADD kicks in.
13.
You seem to recall a chaotic Nutella incident where you knocked a tree over in an attempt to knock more of the trees over in a domino effect. When you guys did your little
Just have a long memory.
timey-wimey thing. Trees have a very long memory.
I'd be like, well, remember when we went kind of into the past and I made a big boom and some trees got knocked down? Maybe they were mad about that.
I can understand they would be mad about that. That would be.
Mm,
Did you apologize?
I don't think I did because I think we went to our current time pretty quickly after that. Did they want an apology?
I mean, even if they don't, it's always a good idea. I mean, it's just polite.
Trees, spouses, just apologize.
Hmm. So let's see. I'm going to. Oh. I'm trying to think of how to do this. I'm gonna create.
Fire.
No.
I'm gonna make it worse.
I'm gonna do shocking grasp, and I'm gonna love the tree harshly. No.
What?
Just kidding.
I'm gonna hug the tree and shock it to death.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna create a little version of me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna send it off to another tree, and then I'm gonna do that a couple times. So I'm gonna get like this swarm of me's around me, all on like little like
Swarm of
trees.
me's.
A swarm of me's in trees, doing the. No, I'm not gonna keep
This is
running.
Yuck song. You
Doing
are.
these.
This is an army of me.
It's an army of me.
Stop.
And so we're all gonna say at the same time, and like there's gonna be ones like hugging tree branches, ones like petting a leaf.
So
And
you're
like, I'm sorry. And it's gonna be like super soothing. And yeah,
How many of these are you creating?
I don't know, as many as it, I mean, because I have it as a cantrip, so I can just keep doing it over and over and over again up to an hour.
You can have like 3 at a time, something like that.
Because I'm like, it's cantrip, I'll just keep doing it, or however many.
Let's get a couple wild magic checks on that there, shall we?
All right, sure. All right.
Wait. Time.
Shit, that's right.
Okay, that's a 15.
Okay.
That's a 14. That's a 17.
Okay.
An 18. Damn, I'm rolling good. Shit, what is that? A 5. Okay.
Ooh.
Should I keep going?
I think that's fine for now.
Okay, I was gonna
I think
switch
that
die just in case.
No, that's fine. Just in case you used up all the mojo on that one.
I used up all the good ones in that particular die.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're fine. You feel every now and again, you feel kind of like that acid reflux start kicking up.
Oh, oh fuck.
Yeah. No. No. You swallow it back down, you know. One of those. But you feel like you're able, every time you do that, you definitely feel the magic surging through you, and you're able to kind of maintain your grasp. That one time when you rolled the 5, you felt like it was slipping just a little bit, but you were able to claw it back.
I hate it so much. Like, it just, every time that I have to cast magic, I'm just like, I need to find my lantern.
Lantern.
Yeah.
Thonik, let's get another nature check.
Okay. And it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Nice.
You get a feeling that this plan of attack worked.
Okay.
That the trees, there is less enmity towards your little gnomish friend.
Very good.
That the apology was the right way to go.
I think the trees are happy now.
Mollified, at least.
And then poof, they're all gone. Bye bye, little mini me's.
Let us go back to our two war planners, to Eno and Hugon. What would you like to do with the many crews that you have? What are some of your plans? And I will tell you approximately how long it would take and how many crews and all that other fun stuff.
Let's start with Eno, because he had a good idea.
So I thought of maybe there's a way to have a contraption that allows an arrow to roll into a channel, and then as the operator is turning like a lever or crank, pulls back a drawstring, and then something moves the arrow back, knocks the arrow, and then goes down. And then as the lever keeps turning, it actually fires the arrow out through an arrow slit, so that you could continuously fire arrows. Like an untrained person could just sit there and
Essentially
crank this thing.
A slightly more rapid fire ballista or scorpion.
Yeah,
How big are these arrows that you're looking to make?
regular arrows probably. I mean, I don't
so
know.
basically a Gatling gun for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, a pencil mount too. That,
So that- and-
you gotta have the pencil mount.
So,
you
that
can- so you can
anybody could
rotate.
just.
And you're just looking to build one of these guys?
I mean, I don't. If we could get two, that would be pretty cool. We could get like two that we could aim.
Okay.
Like-
So, all right.
Because you could have untrained people just turning this crank.
Yeah.
As
And
long
then
as
other untrained people loading bucketfuls of arrows into it.
yeah.
So, but the actual construction, all right, I'm going to say that to build these things, because you're basically having to build this from scratch,
Right.
right? But you're not using uncommon materials. So I'm going to say it's going to take you a crew of about, it will take one crew to gather the materials required
Mhm.
for each of these.
Okay.
And you could pretty much send any crew you wanted to do that. But then I'm going to say it's going to take you, it's going to take your smiths. You need a crew of smiths, 1 hour for each of, or I'll say 2 hours for each of these things. So you would need to take a crew of smith. You're going to take two crews of smiths for 2 hours.
Okay.
Each. Like, this is 2 hours. They can work concurrently. It's not like
Okay.
whatever. That'll get you the parts, and then it's going to take your carpenters another 4 hours to construct everything the way you've described it, like so that way it's mounted properly.
Okay.
So it can rotate. So
in total, how many crews?
let me see here. So we said we've got about 30 hours, right?
Mhm.
Let me do. I'm gonna make a chart for myself here. Hang on a second
Okay.
here. 10, 11. This is where I really should have had a spreadsheet, but that's okay. All right, and then you're gonna have, so you've got your carpenter, and you got miner. This isn't gonna work for me. Anyway, I'll figure this out. So you've got probably just some commoners gathering things for you, right?
Yes. So the commoners gathering. So what? Since we have 2 weapons, 2 crews total.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
So-
2 commoner crews out of our 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then, for the carpentry crew to create or rather, for our blacksmithing crew to fabricate the materials required,
Mm-hmm.
that is a crew apiece. Right.
Yeah. One
That's
crew
2
each.
of our 5.
So we're gonna say 2 and 2 for that, and then you get your carpenters, and it's gonna be 4 hours to do that.
crews.
Okay,
So is it 1 carpenter crew or 2 carpenter crews?
2 carpenter crews, one for each one of these.
Okay.
deals
So we're
that you're
using
building.
2 of our 4, 2 of our 5, and 2 of our 5.
Yeah. So I've got this mapped out here. Okay. So
That's not
and
bad.
if any crew works more than 8 hours, they will need to take about a 4-hour rest time.
No, they can sleep when they're dead.
Well, you can do that, but then there will be penalties.
I know.
No, it's fine. Work time will start to slow, and then we have to see if there's going to be any chances of injury or mishap.
Interesting.
So,
We'll see how hard we need to push him.
I definitely think we immediately start our people on those siege weapons. Those
Yeah.
anti-infantry
So-
weapons.
So I sit down with a master carpenter and I start like going over this, and so he can draw up the plans. He
Okay.
said there was a master carpenter.
And
yes.
a master smith.
oh, that'll
The
actually.
Master Smith.
Yeah, actually, that's gonna. I'm gonna reduce your time here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's gonna take 1 hour for those 2 crews to build these things because you're dealing with the master, and we'll take your carpentry crews. We'll say it takes 3 hours instead of 4
Awesome.
for
Nice.
those 2 crews to do
Awesome.
that, because you've got 2 people there that are able to oh yeah, no, I understand what you're doing, and okay, this is the gearing ratio, and they can actually start talking to each other, like as you're describing
And then
this.
you just be like, and you back away very slowly. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's kind of like, so
Go.
you guys did that thing from Last Airbender where what was the brother's name? I forget.
Taka?
Jaka, yeah. He handed the plans over for the submarine. It was basically in crayon. But because who he gave it to, the guy's like, no, I get exactly what you need. We're gonna, and he builds like this awesome thing. So it's basically you're able to hand them like this rudimentary idea, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and this is the gearing ratio, and we're gonna need this, and they can start talking back and forth on this.
Good.
And then you're probably gonna need to spend probably about 2 hours at some point training people on how to use these things.
All right.
But that can happen.
fine.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it should be very simple.
Are there any other tasks that you would like to set these folks to?
The miners.
Yes.
Hugon would like to use the miners
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps the rest of the carpenters
Mm-hmm.
to, in that vast open area before, like over the bridge, there's an open, unused area,
Yeah.
and then there is town.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have the miners create a sort of serpentine trench with
Mhm.
berms on either side
Mm-hmm.
to channel anybody who needs to come like over that bridge and into town through a
Mhm.
very serpentine path and like prevent them from like just coming straight over the bridge and into town.
Okay, so the trenches would actually run towards town in a serpentine manner,
Yes, I mean like toward being sort of a
like roundabout way.
very
so kind of
roundabout.
like so very much like how Minas Tirith was designed, where you had to like walk all the way this side to get to,
and then all the way back to the other,
and the
all
entire
the-
and the entire
and all
time
the
they're
time
just
people are
raining,
like chucking spears
yeah,
at you,
just raining
shooting
shit down on
arrows,
you. Okay,
yeah.
I like it.
And then the rest of the carpenters, I want them building wooden palisades and towers in the sort of the friendly areas of that serpentine path, so that they can do the whole Minas Tirith thing.
What if we also had like spikes that came out from the walls periodically?
Jesus Christ.
That thing that he said, yes, do it.
Yeah, like spears.
No,
Spears.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, spears that get every time they go over like a pressure plate area
And like
on one of the turns.
if
a
we
spear
can't get the
comes
pressure
out.
plate, we just have like groups of people like standing there with spears ready to go. It's like
Yeah.
thrust, pull, thrust, pull.
So this is a very complex project.
Yes, it is.
Building an abattoir.
Yeah, I think this is going to probably take almost all of your mining crews to do this.
Probably, yeah.
And they can. What we'll pretty much say is that they'll figure out a way to work in shifts, so that way they can use all of the time required. The miners are estimating it's probably going to take it's going to probably take the remainder of time they have. It'll be a photo finish.
If we append some of the rest of the commoner crews
Mm-hmm.
for like earth moving and unskilled,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah. Like
then
wheelbarrowing the stuff out of there, yeah.
well, also once the other crews are finished,
Mm-hmm.
to shift them over to main project.
Okay. Yeah, so that's going to take up, and that's a pretty extensive project. So it's probably going to take up probably all of your miners and the rest of your commoners
Yes,
to do all
yeah.
that. So they'll figure out how to do that shift work to take all that out. And what are you setting the rest of your carpenters to doing?
I want palisades and towers.
Okay.
Basically,
how many do
wooden,
you want?
Oh, I want the entire path lined with a wooden wall, so that people can't just climb over the earthworks.
Okay.
So, like, if you were to like have like a very exaggerated S,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's say the actual line of the S is the path that people would take.
Mm-hmm.
On either side of that, there is a raised earth hill
Mm-hmm.
channeling people inward to a
Mhm.
narrow area, and then on top of that earthen hill to either side of the path is a wooden palisade and perhaps towers.
Okay.
Whereupon you can,
Yeah,
speed,
that will.
arrow.
That's a pretty extensive project as
Yes,
well.
it is.
So that will probably take up the rest of your carpentry crews for the remainder of the time.
yeah, totally
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
I mean, like, we don't have like mages laying around, so it's
Just-
not like
Sitting around doing nothing.
yeah, fabricate that shit. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do this. We can make this work. So they will.
Also, Hugon will help.
Well, I imagine this is like the the preparing for battle montage,
Probably, yeah.
right? This is like in Predator with Schwarzenegger setting up all of his traps, or like everyone's kind of like like Hugon's out there and it's like the armor's off and he's got like the shirt off and he's just in there.
Have you
like,
ever seen 13th Warrior?
Yeah,
Okay, it's essentially that.
yeah, where everyone's just getting into it and like
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's a good movie. Great book too.
I did not know until I was much older that it was actually a retelling of Beowulf.
So
Kind of. Yeah.
so we need to move a lot of earth, right?
Mhm.
Yes, we do.
So I can cast Shatter 3 times on this path at the 3rd level.
Oh my god!
And I can try and move a bunch of the earth.
Like loosen it
that.
up, kind of like blasting.
Yeah,
I
like
like
I can cast Shatter 3 times at the 3rd level. It's at 3rd level, it does 4d8 damage, and it's there
To the ground.
and it's a 10-foot radius sphere. So I can move like 30 feet of dirt, I guess.
So what you can do? So this is how I would envision this.
Thunder
so you guys,
damage.
You guys are having like your little meeting with like the head muckety mucks of each group,
Mhm.
right? And and we're going to find a name for this device that you guys, the Gatling gun, whatever you guys want
I
to
mean,
call
it's
it.
essentially a pencil-mounted repeating crossbow.
That's a mouthful though. We're gonna have to find something.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The like the spitting toads or something, the pit
We'll figure
vipers, the pit vipers or something.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. So they've been tasked, and you're sitting there working. I imagine you guys are like pouring over some maps, and they're giving you some suggestions. Okay, what if we do this? We do this. You've told them that, hey, I can do this thing to help make the digging. So where would be the most strategic areas? So one of the miners like finds like, oh, probably where we're actually going for the S bend is where we're gonna need the most work. So like they've
Okay.
they've got guys out there setting flags like specifically they're like marking out the path, and they've got like a big red X on the ones for the ones they want you to blow up, and they're starting to find the lumber that they need to build these towers as best they can.
I mean, like, if they need to tear down some houses, do it. Like, I'm serious. If you
Well,
need to
there's a
tear
whole
down
forest
Lord
right there
Zedram
that they can.
Listen, if you need to tear down a house, go find Lord Zedram Kai's mansion, tear it
It's
down,
been appropriate.
and use its
Eminent domain. We've declared
Yeah.
eminent.
fuck you, we're taking your house.
Eminent domain has been declared on Lord Zedram Kai's house. Floorboards are being torn up.
Sure.
So you guys are out doing this, and Dren and Thunuk. Dren, you're still trying to hone in on. You're kind of pinging every now and again, trying to figure out if you're getting any closer. Thunuk, you're kind of taking like a wide walk back and forth, slowly getting deeper into the woods as you're doing your ritual casting. As you're like stopping at one of the trees and having a moment with the tree, talking as you do with trees, getting a feeling from what they're how they're doing that day. Can you grow a little bit more, a little bit faster? Do you want to drop things on people? It's fine. That rock that's been stuck up there, go ahead and drop that rock. It's okay. You don't have to hold on to that rock anymore. Just let it go. So you got Dren sitting on your left shoulder, like kind of. I imagine like a hand kind of like loosely, kind of like tangled in the hair to hold on, so that way there's no falling off, right? And
Yep.
every now and again, like this way, like all the little noises, and then, in your right ear, one of the potato scouts says, "Mr. Thunuk, I think we found something." And you realize that this kid is like dangling like upside down from a branch, like right here that you hadn't seen before.
Like a cartoon possum by its tail or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, by his legs. You know what the kids do the thing where they hang upside down by the leg, but he's doing that
Yeah.
by like the one leg. I think we found something. You should
What
come
did you
see.
find? Where is it?
You gotta follow us.
Okay.
And he scampers. Do you try to go stealthy with this, or are you gonna go full on Thunuk through the woods?
I feel like Thunuk may think he's being stealthy, but
So-
he's just being Thunuk.
Well,
Stealthy is like a bear.
But let's do a stealth check.
Okay. 10.
10. not quite as stealthy as you would like to be. But but as you start getting closer, you see a couple more of the potato scouts like kind of like are popping, and they're starting to show you like where to point. So they're able to give you like a little assistance. They're pointing like where you should be stepping, like quick, like as you're about to like as your foot's about to come down on a branch, one quick takes the branch out from underneath so you don't snap the branch. And you huddle down, and you get to a clearing, and you figure you're probably about 2 hours into your hike, 2-3 hours into your hike at this point. And you can see there is a group of gnolls in a clearing.
Wow.
And we're going to stop right there for a moment so we can take our halfway point. So, we are going to be right back. We have to drain fluids, replenish
Stop
fluids.
saying that.
Fire fluids.
Please
fluids.
quit. Quit.
Stop it. And we will be back very, very soon with the very second part. The very second part. It's more second part than usual.
It's imminently second.
It's imminently second. And it will be here before you know it. So please, stick around, and we will play some more Dungeons & Dragons.
Erp.
Dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
No, Law and Order. Dun
Dun
dun.
dun. We are not playing Law and Order here.
Thank God.
Oh, that would be an interesting RPG system.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Oh my God.
And like it would be awesome to play, but like just like
For the first half hour, you just have to constantly guess the wrong person who committed
and
the
like
crime.
if you fuck up a roll, the judge denies your warrant.
But
And
that,
it's like, God damn it.
but this sounds like so on brand.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been back. Hi,
We-
guys.
yeah, we are back. But I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
we're back.
Okay.
There's nothing to not know.
Okay. Well, so let's get back. We were playing Vampire the Masquerade.
No, shut
And-
up. Don't force that evil on me.
Mage the Ascension.
I don't even. I've
The
never
first-
played one.
First edition. First edition.
Is that the one where like you basically warp reality and where
Yes.
reality is like, hey, I don't like that,
And then
sends-
reality warps back.
Yeah. Hey, stop that! And you're like, no,
No, I'm not gonna. And it's like, oh
And
yeah,
then-
you're
I
gonna.
did
and then
not
you
know
turn
that was a
inside
side
out
effect
and
in the
suddenly
game.
burst into spiders.
Yep, pretty much. That's how it goes. But that's not what we're gonna do. We are gonna play dungeons and possibly at some point dragons. It's there. There's a quotient to be met. We don't make the rules. Someone else does. And listen, we just got to do it.
Sometimes the dungeon doesn't happen, and sometimes the dragon doesn't.
Sometimes you do
How
the
it is.
sometimes you do the dungeon. Sometimes the dungeon does you.
happen. Sometimes
It's just the way it goes.
it is the way it goes.
So, anyway, that's not how it's going right now, at least as far as we know. When we last left our heroes, Hugon and Eno are busy playing Warcraft, Pinedale Edition.
Essentially,
They got
yeah.
the Pinedale expansion for Warcraft, basically.
You must construct additional pylons.
Be not that kind of orc.
Stop touching me.
Bombs are great. Yes, with all the classic wave files included. If there is a way for us to mod Warcraft, classic Warcraft, into doing a Pinedale edition, I think we need to. But
It would be so chaotic.
what's your point?
I'm just saying.
It's an observation.
We
These
need to be
things
careful what we unleash upon the world. We really do.
We need to have a whole Team X, just like category. We've already brainstormed like 2 different games, like tabletop games. What I think is now that we branched out into hypothetically doing electronic games.
Diversify or die.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other spectrum, other end of our spectrum, we have Drenmai Gemweaver riding along on Thunic Gentletrunk, who has been talking to trees. Drenmai apologized to the trees for knocking them over. Listen, they remember stuff, and there's hugging.
They've been nursing that grudge for 200 years.
They have been.
Okay.
Well,
It's been a long
You
time
ended
coming.
a blood feud.
possibly a sap feud. In their case, it would be a sap, or whatever the tree equivalent of that is. But it's apparently it's been squelched. It's been taken care of, and the Potato Scouts have discovered something. They have discovered and led Thunic and Drenmai to what appears to be an encampment of gnolls. And your stealth check was successful. They were able to help assist you, get you to where you need to be. And what you see in front of you is it not necessarily a clearing as much as it was made into a clearing. Some trees roughly hewn down and used for what looks like rudimentary tents, maybe a little like a fence made from some of the smaller trees. Bushes just ripped up by their roots from the ground. No thought whatsoever to any kind of leave no trace ethic in this case.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much leave every possible trace. When the wind shifts a certain way, you're pretty sure you could smell the whole, latrine hole. And it's from gnolls. They eat a lot of meat, which kind of means...
They eat a lot of meat, and they also roll in carcasses.
Yeah. So, but
They
you know what
smell
happens if you
bad.
have a meat-only diet. There's consequences and repercussions on your gastrointestinal system. Um, what you're, Thunic, what you are seeing in front of you is not even borderline profane. It is an absolute. It is an absolute travesty to nature. What they've done here to create this camp that just seems to have too many sharp, pointy things. Just. Ugh. There's just something that gets you at your core, at your genetic core of being a fearbolg. That's like this is not right.
Dren senses Furbolg hackles raised.
All tingly, like the hair starts spiking up.
Well, they
A
do,
tightening of the shoulders.
but Dren, when this happens, there is a little part of you that feels a pang of fear. Because you've seen Gentle Capybara Thunic. He's not angry yet. But probably at some point in your long life, you've seen an angry Fearbolg. And it is a terrifying sight. Because they do everything they possibly can to try to avoid violence. They try to gently nudge people away from where they are. And maybe if that doesn't work, they'll talk with them. But every now and again, they have to make war. And war with Fearbolg is a last resort. It is fast. And it is efficient. It is effective. Fearbolg do not go to war for long. A war with a Fearbolg is usually, you're only aware of it for about an hour. And then you're not aware of anything anymore. Because if it gets to that point, they just fall upon you. And all of this from your memory is kind of all this is going through your memory as you feel Thunic's shoulders tighten and those hairs in the back of his head, the back of his hair go up. And it's very much like a wolf. And you're not sure, but you think there actually might be like a very deep growl. Like almost like subsonic. Deep within, because Thunic, this is like I said, this is bothering you on a genetic level.
Mm-hmm.
What you've seen here. But Drenmai, give me you could either give me a religion or an arcana check.
Ooh, Arcana. Am I religious even? I don't even know. Let's find out. Me.
I was raised in a cult, kind of left early.
23.
23. You see some of the symbols that have been splattered upon like these walls they've built just on the trees around, and it's written in some form of abyssal. You've seen abyssal. I don't think you can read abyssal.
No, I don't think that's one of my languages.
No. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Drenmai knew how to read abyssal, but
Who's surprised? No.
no, all of a sudden
Yeah.
Drenmai's just like blah, blah, you know.
Fantastic
actually
accent.
looking.
Is that third layer? Out of the infinite layers of the abyss?
So you see like, and this is all, you can see these are the profane symbols of Yingohu, their demon god that you can see here, and it unsettles you to see this written in this way, and just because it's written in blood, some of it wet,
Lovely.
some of it not so wet. You're not sure where the blood came from. But you see there's 5 gnolls sitting around this campfire, and they you can see they have what appears to be some smaller woodland animals on a skewer, and they're like got it over the fire, not skinned or anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at all this and like kind of nonchalantly like petting Thanook like calm. Calm. Um hmm. I think we'd get in trouble if we attacked.
Out of curiosity, what we see here, is it what the tendrils? Is it related to the tendrils at all?
I don't know. You could.
That's true. I'm gonna go out with my Nomi senses and see what I feel.
Nomi senses activated.
Dren
Gnome
might reach out with
senses.
Gnome senses.
17.
17. You have a better bead on where one of those tendrils is. It's not here. It feels like it might have been here at one point, but it feels like it's elsewhere out in the Chondawood.
Okay, so I'll tell Thanook. There's like remnants of it here, but it's not here right now. So even though this isn't ideal, we should probably continue looking, and we'll just remember this and report back.
What's the purpose of the sigils that they've painted?
Let us do. I guess for you this would be. I guess a religion or I accept religion or arcana. Arcana.
I will do an Arcana roll because my religion is -2.
Arcana.
Oh, that was a critical failure.
You have no idea what they do.
They've just painted the ground or whatever they painted. And
You're seeing it.
ugly.
You're seeing blood. All it's doing is all.
You enter a rage.
Well, I was about to say you start looking at these symbols. You don't know what they mean, but you do feel a rage growing in you. They're on the trees, they're in the ground, scrawled, painted in blood. There's just something so profane about this that it's just really starting to you feel like a rage growing in you.
Smash!
How many are we seeing here again?
So, what you're seeing in front of you, you've got this knoll-made clearing of about 50, 60 feet round. With this, you can see where they pulled trees down. Some of the trees look they might have just been pulled down and ripped down. And these were some of these trees were greenwood, so like very young saplings that have been yanked down. It was never like they didn't take the time to do responsible lumbering here. So you've got this fence kind of built around, and you see some like basic. You see like one. It's not even like a domicile. It's kind of like they built kind of this really kind of like really off kilter lean-to in there, and you can see there's 5 gnolls here sitting around this fire. They're occasionally talking to each other in this guttural abyssal language. It looks like this was a campsite that was used. It might be used by more gnolls from time to time, but right now it just looks like it's just these 5.
Yeah. He's gonna let this. He's not gonna let this slide. He's actually gonna slip here.
Crash out of the jungle like a silverback.
I can't decide if he would basically. No, he would not do that because I think he'd bring vengeance upon them through the 4. But I think he would also crash like a silverback at the same time. So he kicks in Spirit Guardians and sprints into the clearing.
Hi, would you like a hug?
Uh,
no.
Well, okay. Let us roll for initiative here.
I wonder if Thunuk realizes he's endangering children. Probably not.
I don't think he does.
Not right now.
No,
Um,
Yet.
he's at the top of his voice. He's actually going to use the biggest word he knows, or the fanciest word he knows for what he's saying, and he's going to scream defilers at them.
Oh my God. I like that.
That's-
Give me one
That is
second
3
here.
syllables.
It is
That's
3
a-
syllables. Yeah,
That's major for Thunuk.
Hang on a second. I'm getting my.
I mean he uses 3 or 4 syllable words every so often, but those are just the few ones that he knows, and this is a big deal.
Jerkface doesn't count.
Jerkface doesn't count. It's
That's 2 words.
That's
hyphenated.
2 words.
It's hyphenated.
All right. Drenmai or Thunuk, what was your initiative? Oh, so this is gonna be a surprise round. So you're gonna get a chance to do your stuff first.
Okay.
But I think Drenmai is surprised too, because I think it's probably just a case of you that go launching off.
I'm just along for the ride.
Ah!
So, Thunuk, where do you fall in initiative here? What is the number that you have rolled?
The number of the counting is 10.
10. Okay. And then Drenmai, what is your initiative?
I got an 8.
You got an 8. All right. So
Ooh,
Which would
single
be
digit-
apropos.
Single digit initiative. Yay.
Yeah, pretty much.
hang on, I'm just writing this down here.
Like, okay, we're doing this. Hold on.
Okay, we got that one, and then we've got this one, and then we've got this one, and then we've got.
Got that you said things in just the right pattern. Now I've got the Weapon of Choice playing in my head.
All right, so we got 5 nulls here. Okay, we'll see what happens here. So, for your surprise round,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Thunuk, what would you like to do? You said Spirit Guardians, right? As you're screaming,
Defilers, and he just runs out there,
Thump, 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 thump.
and his stick has been shillelied, and Spirit Guardians is firing up as he steps through the bushes,
Mhm.
and it looks like a storm of pissed off leaves and branches flying around him, just radiating malice.
And the shout would be like the sound of a boulder crashing down a mountain. This is not like little high pitched defilers. This is like the rage
Like
of the. This is
like
the
a
rage
peal
of the
of
4.
thunder.
This is peal of thunder. The rage of the 4 falling down upon these gnolls. So is it the triggering the spell? Is that the action, or is that the?
Triggering the spell is the action.
Okay. So what is they have to make a save, correct, at the beginning of their turns?
Yes, they have to make a save at the beginning of their turns, or when they enter it, and they're entering it on my turn.
Yes. Well, they're entering it on your terms. So
On my terms and on my turn, because I'm rushing into them with
Yes.
with the storm coming at them.
okay. So what's the number that they need to hit?
15 wisdom save.
15 wisdom save. Okay. So we'll do. All right. No. And no. So the first 2 do not make their save. What is the damage that they need to take?
3d8, and it is 17.
Oh shit.
Nice. Nice.
God damn it. So as you do, as you come charging in, these so the gnolls start springing to their feet, and immediately, and we said this was like these are like the little mosaic pieces, right? The little negative zone.
Yeah,
Seasonal.
it's like the Phantom Zone mirror, but like
But seasonal.
but seasonal. Like when they spin around, instead of seeing General Zod and his flunkies, you see various different times of the year.
Yeah. And these things just come ripping through these first gnolls like you hit them with a sandblaster. You have definitely revealed their skin's freshest layer, but not in a helpful way, and they're not feeling too good. So, but now what they're going to do is they're going to try to come after you. They are going to do. Um,
They also take damage at the start of their turn if they feel that.
oh, this was the start of their turn. Oh, this was like. Oh, so this was the first.
This
So,
was
as you
my turn.
approach, they take damage. When their
Yes.
turn starts, they take
Oh,
damage.
well then they need to
Yeah.
make another save here. Hang on.
Because it's if they start their turn or if the zone enters their space, if they enter
Mhm.
the space of the zone, which I have moved the zone with me into their
Do they
locale.
save once or every time?
I have to roll a save every time.
Hang on, I'm just doing some math here because. Owie. All right. So, all right. So they gotta make another save here. So we gotta do some. All right. No. And hell no. All right. So yeah, give me the. Let's get some more damage here.
You want me to roll for each of them or just once?
Just roll once for these first two here.
Oh, that was actually disappointing. 6.
6. So as you come running in, two of the gnolls have leapt to their feet, and it's like as soon as they leap to their feet, it's almost like they stood. So it's almost like a lawnmower was running above their head, and they stood directly up into the lawnmower.
Oh man.
Oh, ran over a stump.
Yeah, it's just they stood up, and it just basically, it's almost like so fast where it's like ching, 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 and there's almost like they don't even like notice at first, but then it's like, then the tears just appear in blood. It's like that. So you see that in anime where all of a sudden like it's the cuts, and then all of a sudden the cuts just.
You slide apart in several different directions.
Yeah, that's kind of like what happens with the first two here, and they just fall to the ground, lifeless. And it is now it is actually your turn. It is the top of initiative right now. All right. All right. Well,
Wait,
now
was
it's yeah.
That should be so I
So you did
removed
your
them from
surprise
initiative.
round. So you did your surprise round.
Yes.
And two of the gnolls died as soon as they went to take their turn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I effectively just removed them from initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I doing?
I don't know. I'm sure it will be sufficiently awesome.
He's going to smack the closest one that's still alive with his shillelagh.
Okay.
Basic to hit. 24.
That. Yeah, I think that hits.
Okay.
Are you doing a BAP?
Doing a very, very.
Or rather, is this a bonk?
This is a bonk.
This is
Oh,
a
this is
bonk.
more of a. This is a bonk. Yeah. This isn't a. This is not a like no bad
It's
doggy.
not like a. This is a. Ah!
Yeah.
Like there's a mosquito and you're just like, fuck you.
What the heck is that again?
This is what you
I
do
should-
when you see that green head land on your arm, that horsefly. And it doesn't matter, you will do yourself harm. Whatever's in your hand is being used.
D4, D8. Okay. It's a D8 plus 4, 10.
Yeah, that's not going to do that Noel very good at all. At all. You basically come swinging in with this shillelagh and with your walking stick and just bury this thing in its skull. To the point where like you feel the bone give way and you figure out that it takes exactly one lick to get to its Tootsie Roll center.
Oh, jeez.
And it too has given up the ghost and collapses to the ground. Now we have a gnoll that needs to make a saving throw. It does make its saving throw. So is it only half damage?
I don't remember. Let me check.
It's either save for half or save for nothing. I can't recall though.
Where did you go?
Or save for it doesn't matter, you're going to die anyway.
Spirit Guardians. If they succeed, half as much.
Okay, so let's get a damage roll here and then see.
Let's see, 12, 19, round that down in a half.
Jesus Christ!
So
It doesn't matter.
it's 9.
9 or
Uh,
8.
This one is able to stand up and just starts to bring its spear to bear on you, and right as that happens, it basically your spirit guardians remove one of its legs, and just the femoral artery just drains, and it just
He dead.
he dead. He
He
very
dead.
dead. Hey Drenmai,
Yee.
it you.
Me.
But that's
So-
3 now.
This
that you've
one,
killed?
so this one, the last knoll there is actually a little bit
4?
larger than the others. Little bit.
So there's only one left.
There's only one left. Thunic has just killed 4 of them.
Like by just standing next to them. It's like he turned
guess-
his like friend shape aura off and turned his I hate you aura off. Ah!
Yeah.
Ah! It sucks. Turn it off.
I just unfriended you.
Oh god.
I guess since I see him kind of going crazy,
Going
I'll
ape,
be like,
going ham
Yeah.
on these guys.
okay, we're really doing this, so I'm gonna kind of like extend my hands out, and I'm gonna cast Blight. And the last guy needs to make a con saving throw.
God.
All
You-
this necromancy all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Blight, what is the save that that we have to
He
make
needs to make a 15.
there? A 15 con save? He makes it.
Okay, so he still has to take half. So hold on, this is 8d8.
A what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blight is an
8d8?
8d8.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 23 half.
So 11.
So it was 46. It's 23.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. 23 is the half damage, not
23
half.
is the half. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. So remind me again, what does the blight look like?
So my wonderful necromantic energy kind of like washes over him,
Mhm.
and it
Interesting
drains all moisture and vitality from him.
way.
Ugh.
Wonderful necromantic energy.
I love
yes.
necromancy.
So
Not
he's
really,
looking
wonderful at all.
a little dehydrated. Skin pulled tight over muscle. So all you're seeing is you're actually seeing like the muscle and sinew and
Yeah, dude's
skin.
dehydrated AF.
Yeah. His body fat count is down to 0,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But not in that cool like, hey, look at me, I'm huge way. More like hey,
No.
I picked up a nasty habit and what do I need to do to get $1 way.
Mm-hmm.
But now, okay, oof. Is there, and I almost imagine is there like a noise that goes with this? I almost think is like
Oh, it's like that
Probably, like,
horrible
creaking
sapping
leather.
noise, and it's like
is Dread making it at the same time? Like
probably.
I have
Drinking it like a
stone
juice
in your
box.
spirits. It now needs to make its wisdom save, which it makes. So it's gonna take half damage now from Spirit Guardians. Let us see if we can get a Spirit Guardian damage roll from Thunic.
Oh, sorry, my brain was frying there. for a moment. 13.
So is that the full damage?
Oh, did he save?
Yeah.
6.
6? Okay. He's not looking good. He takes a few of these, like, he's got, the little razor cuts, little paper cuts all over his body right now. He's looking severely. The eyes are bulging out of the head. The jowls are pulled tight over the teeth, but even the gums are starting to recede. Nails looking too long. And he actually is getting an opportunity to do an attack here.
Oh,
So it's going to come after you, Thonic, because, you're the largest target here. And does a 22 hit.
Yes.
Okay. And no, that one definitely misses. Okay, so it's going to do 1d10 plus 3. He does 9 points of damage to you. And now it is your turn.
Give me one moment. D&D Beyond session timed out on me. You said 9?
Yeah, I said 9.
Okay, there we go.
But D&D Beyond makes it so easy. Couldn't be easier.
He will give this dude a bonk upside the head. That is
Yeah,
a
bonk.
22.
That hits.
Okay. 11.
All right. How do you want to do this?
He is not in his right mind, as we've clearly established.
Oh, I thought you meant the Knoll, because the Knoll's not in any mind at this point. So that's...
He took that hit, and he's just basically wildly flailing around. So, no, he's significantly taller than a Knoll, I imagine.
He is.
So it's just a straight down, not even aiming. He's just going to town on this thing, and he just doesn't stop hitting it. He just
This is like a rage beating.
yeah.
Just like...
Yeah, he just keeps hitting this thing.
Well, you are able to get to its creamy nougat center. Dren, you seem to notice that your friend here has lost his shit. And you do happen to remember that there are children present.
I very nicely, since I am kind of holding on, want to do shocking grasp on like his shoulders.
Just to
Why
like...
is shocking grasp your solution to everything?
I don't know, but it's becoming a thing, and it's kind of working for me.
It's on brand. So, I mean, now mind you, you yourself, you're both covered in gore at this point, because Thunnik is
Yes.
pounding, because he's already smashed into one, and he's pounding away, and just gore, blood and gore and viscera on this side. The other side, clean. The
Yeah.
backside, clean. But,
It's gonna smell real bad.
so, all right, so shocking grasp.
Well, she might not be covered because she's behind his head.
No, she's on your shoulder. She's...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm shoulder side.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do like half charge just to be like, "Nyeh, stop, chill."
She's not using a full car battery on this one.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Um.
because it also gets me because I'm not grounded to anything. So it's like, "Nyeh, okay,
It's like hitting yourself with a counter prod. Oh, Jesus.
pretty much. Like, okay, refocus here.
He's basically slows down to like a light tapping, and he stops and catches his breath, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. That was
It's okay. Let's stand up.
yes.
I just picture seeing like big wide eyes from the trees from the potato scouts. Like, what the?
Blink, blink. Blink.
Oh no, we were just joking earlier about if they ever decide to become violent, it's and with their stealthiness, now they've seen they take all
Now
their
they've seen it.
Look, oh my god.
And who's going to capitalize on this?
Exactly.
Hugon Valander.
So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we're
I'm not even going to pretend to be a good person about this. I'm gonna-
Like, nope, I'm taking full advantage of this situation.
This is what you created for me. I'm going to use it.
thank you very much.
Ooh, you
So
brought me a
I'm
shiny.
I'm going to try and redirect his attention, and with a 21 Arcana check, I want to see which way tendrils are.
You get a good direction of where these tendrils are. you think you could hone in on it. You think that it might be probably another hour away.
Okay, so I'll
Wow.
kind of like direct the Nook's head and be like, let's go this way, and like nudge him to just walk.
He returns to his silent, his low, barely audible praying and speaking with trees and stuff.
Okay,
And
so
goes in the direction that Drenmai has pointed out.
lumber off into the woods.
Mhm.
All right, so Eno and Hugon. So Eno, you're doing your little demolition man thing,
Right.
getting everyone cleared. So that's a whole process unto itself, because you can't have people just standing around.
Yeah, I tell anybody that's nearby, I tell them to get some ear protection. Yeah, because it's going to be really loud.
All right, guys, I want to see safety glasses.
Yeah,
Remember,
Bosha is
that's real.
literally standing right
Remember,
there.
that's real acid.
yeah. I don't want to run afoul of any kind of Pinedale OSHA.
Yeah, the goggles,
also
they do
there's-
nothing.
Yeah,
There's home office, safety and security protocol.
exactly.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, they're more like suggestions and guidelines.
Well,
that
true, but like
Hardcast
killing
rules.
the townsfolk is probably bad for business.
Yeah, unless it's good for business, in which case do it. I mean,
Well,
it
of course,
specifically
of
says
course.
that in the contracts. But
so I make sure there's nobody in like probably a 200 feet radius, and
Mhm.
and that anybody that's nearby that is has their hand
Mm-hmm.
over their, at least has their, or maybe like plugged or
Mhm.
something. And the X's that they've marked, every like 3 times over a period of like a couple minutes, I cast this spell and just the earth erupts. It's just
just it's that glorious. It's that glorious A-team ground explosion with dirt just
Yeah.
being launched into the air. Some of the kids are coming out to watch. There, you can see that there's kids like up on the roofs, like further in town, like watching. Because this is a pretty big deal. I mean, the entire town essentially, or not the entire town, is mobilizing. The rest, you can see it. There are some folks that are starting to gather in the actual town itself, getting ready for evac.
after I cast the third spell, I'm pretty exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of catch my breath, and I walk back, through the gates. And then I set about, because it's been a little bit of time. I think it's been a couple hours, right?
Yeah, it has been.
Like how-
Yeah.
So so I won't do it yet, but like eventually I'll cast a tiny hut nearby, so that like work crews over a period of 8 hours, this tiny hut can hold up to like 9 people.
Mhm.
So work crews can like get some rest, and then they won't have to like go all the way back, and then like
Keep them on site. I like it.
yeah, kind of
I
keep
like
them on site. So yeah, but I won't cast it. Well, I guess I could. I'm using it's a ritual, so I could. It's not using a spell shot, so I'll
Yeah.
cast that. I'll actually cast that, and then
So you're saying a little break
Yeah.
room for them.
yeah, kind of a break room. It's a little tiny hut. It's
Come in, they get a bagel,
mhm.
cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Sit down for
Maybe
a
a
second.
beer.
Take the hat off. Relax
Yeah.
for a relax for a few minutes.
It's a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force, springs into existence. Around and above you, remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if I leave the area. So I'll probably sleep
Okay,
in there.
that makes sense.
Uh,
And as you notice, as people are coming in, you see that they're all trying to make small talk, but it comes across as rather forced. Like they're very obviously trying to avoid the elephant in the room, so to speak, in that they know why they're doing this. They know why they're building all of these berms and this kill zone, why these towers are being constructed, why these yet to be named rotating arrow launchers. What they know why all of this is happening, but they're very like pointedly trying not to talk about that. So they're trying to go about like it's a normal day, like talking about card game, talking about did you see this, and this, that, and the other thing, and but it's very obvious that people are doing this as a defense mechanism, as a way of avoiding the unpleasant truth before them. Hugon, as you're working, helping to dig out some of these pathways, and well, now I'll say probably is probably asleep when this happens, but you hear what sounds like a peal of thunder in the distance coming from the Chunderwood, but you see not a cloud in the sky.
Well, it's the Chondawood. I'm sure it does that.
Every now and again, just clears its throat.
Every now and then, it's it's a sentient, malicious forest, so it kind of does its own thing.
But as you're doing some work here, you've been working for approximately 6 hours or so at this point. Mm-hmm. For the folks that might be into that kind of thing, it's like sweat glistening, dirt tastefully accumulating, like on the chest and maybe on the head somewhere. It's very.
There's an awful lot of cursing.
There's cursing, but it's determined cursing. It's very like on mission cursing. Mm-hmm. It very sports training montage cursing. And then one of the head of the head of the carpenters comes to you, and taps you on the shoulder and says, "I believe we've completed construction."
Oh.
On one of your weapons, we feel like should we test it?
Oh yeah.
Would you like to be there for the testing?
I would.
So
I would very much like to find something to shoot.
And he excuse me, he takes you up. So as we had said, like there's Pinedale, and it's kind of like a gentle slope down to the river, and they built these things as per your instructions closer to the top of this, so that way they could have as the enemies are moving along the serpentine path, they've got a few places of clear shots where they could just start laying arrows in.
Right, of course.
And you can see it is a crank mechanism, where a person could just sit there. It's like one of those arm rowers.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that for where it's just
Yep.
So they've got this setup there, and you basically and they show you how like as you're doing that it brings it back and then just snaps forward, and as every time it snaps forward, every time it comes back, right before it snaps, an arrow drops in from what looks to be like a magazine, and you can see next to it they've got several of these magazines, these wooden frames, basically wooden and metal frames that have arrows just lined up, very much like the payload for a nail gun.
Okay.
And they slot it into the top, and they show you how to, and they've actually set up like some wooden plank targets, 3 of them at different bends in the S, that you feel like that you could at this point you'd be able to take the shot now, and you wouldn't be in danger of hitting any of the work crews.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is a strength check to have you be able to crank this enough.
Strength or athletics?
A case could be made for either.
Okay, all right. That's a 19.
Okay, yeah, that would be enough. It takes a second for you to get the feeling down of getting things syncopated, but then you're able to quickly do that. So now we need to get you kind of so once you get this going, now you can start. You can see they show you like how there's like pedal mechanisms actually for loading, for loading the arrows. So it's as you're cranking, it's basically turning a giant wheel, like a weighted wheel, that you've got to keep going. If you've ever seen charcoal foundries for smithing, it's almost like this weighted handle that they use that can keep turning on its own to help keep air circulation going. But you have to, so you've got this going, and that's what's building all the momentum behind it. And they show you how to use the pedals. So now what you got is you got to figure out, you got to aim it at this target. So this would be a dexterity,
Okay.
basically a dexterity attack.
Okay, so basically a ranged attack.
Yeah, ranged attack. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 12.
12. So as this launches towards the first target, it sails just short. It was pretty, it was like on par of where you wanted it to be, but you just figure out, okay, you need to adjust, you need to aim that a little bit higher because you're shooting downhill, which throws off.
Right, of course.
It's a new weapon.
Literally new, built today.
Yes. Right off the production line. Limited edition, individually numbered.
Right.
Artisanal
Two.
and locally sourced.
Yep.
Chef inspired.
So try again.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's get another ranged attack here.
That one is much better. That is a 16.
A 16. This one sails true, and you can hear it as it actually hits the target. And it makes a very satisfying thunk as it drives this. Now, this is longer than an average arrow. It's not quite. This is not like feet long, but it's
Right.
a longer and slightly thicker, and it's got a metal. It's got a heavier arrowhead on it. So it's
It's
closer.
like it's a great big crossbow bolt.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly. So that way because it needs the weight in order to travel accurately.
Right.
So, and it just lands very, very satisfyingly in this plank, the nearest plank.
This is good work. I need you to take copies of these blueprints down to Buck in the Silver Terrier. He'll know what to do with them.
Just tell him I sent you.
Yeah.
He'll know what to do. And he says, of course, could you tell Omen that we helped?
Yeah, well,
Design.
write your name on the blueprint.
I can do that?
Yeah. I asked you to make it. I didn't make shit.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah. The whole crew. Write it on there.
And he starts taking it around to every, like there's like almost like this, like so not celebratory, but almost like this, like signing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's signing the original blueprint of this thing. So
yay.
yeah, it's going around. So you see all these signatures starting to build along the bottom of along the blueprint, and you can see they're kind of enjoying the moment. Again, you've been able to pick up on the same thing. There's like this camaraderie of working, but these are not soldiering folks that you're working with. That they're trying very hard to not think about their impending doom.
Right, of course. The last thing, there's two things that I want accomplished. Now the Smiths are done, including the Master Smith, and the Carpenters are done. Firstly, I want the rest of the Carpenter teams to, have whatever break they need, and then pile in on the Palisade construction and tower construction. I want the Smiths to start making caltrops. Like as many as they can, and we're going to seed that entire path with caltrops.
So you're making a path that they have to walk, and you're basically going to fill it with Legos.
Yeah, it's going to be real bad. If I had poison, you best believe that I would be poisoning the caltrops too.
Well,
Second best thing, sewage.
Dump the town's sewage in the path. I like it. Make it happen. After we're done working there.
not now. Not now.
Later. Later. But so that's what the work crews I want.
Yeah.
That's what the tasks that I want them to handle.
If only
And, like-
Eno knew where there was some poison.
Right? If only. The second thing that I want to accomplish is I want to find Tadell Swift.
Okay.
And I want to give her a very important mission.
Ooh. A very important mission.
Very
Okay.
important mission.
So you actually find her helping with the construction. They're actually helping. She's actually helping with the construction of one of the towers. She is
okay.
like fearlessly scurrying up into the scaffolds and getting like into those weird awkward areas and getting nails. And she's able to like hang there almost by like one hand sometimes, and she's in there. The places where it's really difficult for the adults to go because it's just awkward and weird, and she's able
Right,
to
she's small and dexterous.
exactly, and she's able to and she's so you see her hanging like up there, and she's just driving nails in, and then she like moves over some more, like just like completely just dead hanging and moving, and then kicking off when she needs to, and just helping construct one of the towers, and when at one point, it's like as she moves, like you can see the tower, like it doesn't shake unsteadily, but you can see there's a little bit of movement, and she actually yells up at one of the other carpenters, like, "You gotta fix this! It's gotta be more solid. If it's not solid, we won't be able to get shots down. You need to stabilize that over there. I need this balanced." She goes back to hammering.
Right. Well, he'll wait till she gets on the ground. He's not about to start shouting up at people.
So she notices. She looks down and notices you, and she like puts the hammer like in a loop in her pants, and like pretty much just like lets go.
Mm-hmm.
But as she lets go, she's like parkouring her way down, like off of the different supports in there. Like it's the absolute most efficient route down.
Mm-hmm.
That's not straight. That would allow her, and she like comes to it's like skids to a halt like right in front of you.
You know you're leaving town, right?
No, I need to stay. I need
No,
to fight.
you are leaving town.
No, I have to stay. Don't make me.
Picks her up by the collar, like from the ground, and like holds her at eye level and goes, "You're leaving town, right?
I want to fight.
Well, you're going to be more helpful with what I have you doing.
What's that?
I need you to carry a message for me. There's 2 people at the monastery still, Laura Lissa and Kohan Fielderson. I need you to get them to come back. We're going to need their help defending the town. They'll know to trust you because of your association with me, and that's why you need to do this.
Okay.
And I swear to the gods, if I find you in town after the evacuation, I will beat you. And then I will give you to your parents, and then they will beat you. And then we will pitch you through the portal. Okay? I really mean it. You are not to be in town when this attack happens.
But I can fight.
I don't want you fighting. You are more useful somewhere else.
But after I get them, I can come back.
You could. But here's a thing that I need you to understand. It's very different when you're training a child. Children don't have bad habits. Children don't have lifetimes of laziness to combat. Children don't have lifetimes of other training. What I'm training you, you're learning so quickly and so well that you're going to be the best soldier that we produce. You're just not going to be old enough yet. So if you go and get yourself killed, that's more work for me. And that's a problem for me. Because I need someone to carry this forward to the next generation. Do you know what the word protege means? Don't hurt yourself.
I think so.
It means you inherited. And what you're going to inherit is my training method, which is why you specifically, out of everyone, needs to live. I am entrusting to you specifically the future of the outcomes management and solutions. Think of it as being a noble heir.
But I can come back though. When
No, you
when it's over.
Well
when-
after it's over and when we come to get you. And I'm not sending you to a camp. The monks that you're going to be hanging out with are hardened fighters. You're going to learn a lot from them. I'm going to be disappointed if you don't. You're going to be so busy training that you won't have time to come back.
How long?
As long as this takes. Or forever. Because realistically, we could all die.
So she like nods her head and she says, "Okay."
Good.
All right.
Now, go. Like, right now.
She
Now.
scurries off.
Fuck off.
She goes. So you've had a few hours of rest.
Okay.
Are you feeling refreshed?
So would that be a long rest?
That would
then?
be. I think in the case for what you've done, we could consider it a long rest. You haven't.
Okay.
Well, you had. Let's see. You had the poison,
Right.
and you're feeling better off of that, and you were kind of like
Okay.
you were half asleep off of that anyway. So.
So I would. So I think I would climb out of the hut, and it disappears. So anybody that's sleeping in it, the hut just disappears around them.
There's all these people just sleeping in the street now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And he goes, "Oh, sorry about that." And then he goes off to find Hugon. And probably after asking around, "Hey, where's Hugon?" He finds him and he goes, "Hey, so it looks like that spider poison finally worked its way through my system. That was crazy shit. Oh my god, man, you got to try it. It's pretty
No.
cool."
Maybe never. I'm
Wow.
not sure yet.
So, how's it going? Did they finish the arrow guns?
Yes, and they work very well.
Nice.
Great idea that you had.
I'm glad I could help.
Mm.
Are they accurate?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have peasants shooting them, so I mean, it's going to be hit or miss, but I'm expecting, hordes of enemies, so you don't really need to aim.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Maybe you will. I mean, they could surprise us. They could have, dragons and stuff and fly right over these little horse shit walls, so it doesn't really matter. But, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I hope they don't have dragons, but they might.
Where's Thunuk and Dren?
They went off into the woods doing woods things, I imagine. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, I hope they're okay. It's been like a while.
I'm sure they're fine.
Okay. He pushes the button on his thing and he goes, "Hey, are you guys okay?"
Do we get this? How far away are we? I don't know how far this thing works.
I think you guys would be almost out of range at this point. Like you'd be getting like the very edge. Like yeah.
What?
Like it's like so staticky. Like you're able to tell that like Eno has said something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so overwrought. You're at the very edge of the range of this thing.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to like boost the thing. I like make a mental note how to boost the signal later.
Boost construct. I don't understand.
When in doubt, give it more power.
Feed more energy into it. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Jocelyn grasp.
So he's just like, this thing doesn't work. Does it work? Is my thing broken or?
Probably out of range.
Oh, there's a range.
Yeah.
And then would I see the arrow gun thing from where I am?
Yeah.
So I look up and I'm like, what the fuck is that thing?
The arrow gun that you designed.
Oh man, that looks so cool.
You don't remember doing that, do you?
Of course yeah. It's the thing.
How many did you have made?
don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
How many are there?
2.
Nice. He's like, nice, and he takes his lute and he starts like playing like a little song.
You know, I noticed that a lot of the workers are very emotionally distressed. Maybe some music would help them.
Yeah, he casts prestidigitation and makes it louder so that people can hear it.
Okay.
So he's just playing like a little ambient, like. Ding,
Also,
ding,
if you're going to be
ding, ding.
moving back and forth, watch where you step. I'm having the smiths create and plant caltrops in the path, so don't step on any.
What's a caltrop?
It is a semi-triangular ball of metal with spears sticking out of it, about the size of your fist. They're for
So-
killing horses.
So there's not actual cows.
Cal,
Oh,
K-A-C-E-L. Caltrop.
caltrop. Wow, that's cool.
Don't step on them.
I-
They're designed to not come out, and they're designed to make horrible wounds.
That doesn't sound like something that I want to step on.
Exactly. Smart.
Okay. Where are they going?
All over the path.
Oh, down the
Mhm.
towards the bridge.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, hopefully, they'll make extras so that we can like throw them into the path when this fight actually ends up happening, which would be nice. I don't know if you've
Okay.
ever been hit by a caltrop, but it really sucks.
Hey, what if we put some of that spider poison on him?
What spider poison?
Well, okay. So when I was borrowing this armor, I think I got attacked by a big spider or something, and it bit me, and then I made it go back where it was before.
Okay. So you want to milk the person-sized spider that attacked you.
I mean,
You want to do that?
I don't want to do it. No, I
hoping you
was
would.
I wasn't saying I was going to do it. I was just saying, what if we put some of that on the things, the
We can
cows?
ask. We can ask if that's a thing that we can do.
Okay.
You didn't kill the spider, did you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It didn't look dead.
Okay. Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
Go from there. Whose spider was it?
So I think I try to remember. Should I roll to try and remember what shop it was? Or do I remember what shop it was?
Yeah, give us a roll here. Let's see if you
All
see
right.
if you remember what shop it was.
So he starts scratching his chin. He's like, oh, I rolled a 19.
Nice.
Yeah. So he immediately he's like, oh yeah, it was
John the Armorer.
John the Armor. Yeah. Yeah. Remind me, I gotta talk to him because this fits really well.
That would be good. Given that he's like, down with the other smiths making the caltrops, you may want to go speak with him, specifically regarding the spider and the venom, and the armor that you're wearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Like right now would be great.
I'll do that right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Music too. Music is good as well.
He's still playing. Like he's the whole time he's been playing.
Not right now.
Yeah, like right now. All right, so I go down and I try to find John the Armorer. John the Armorer.
Armorer.
Yeah. I got a what is that? 18 on perception to see if I can see where John the Armorer is.
Yeah, you can see. Let's see. Most of them are working.
18.
18. Yeah, so you're able to find like in one of the foundries. One of the
Okay.
one of the shops that they where they're all kind of working together. Like they're like basically doing an assembly line where each smith is heating up, doing this portion of it, passing it on. Next smith adds so that way because there's a lot of little parts that need to come together and be forge welded together.
Assembly line kind of shit.
So he goes up to John. He says, "Hey, John, I don't think we've met. I'm Eno. Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah, that's my armor you're wearing.
Yeah, listen, we were doing a security test of the different shops, and we randomly selected yours. And I got to tell you that spider, man, that is a really awesome security feature you got there. Do you mind if we maybe can we extract some of the poison, use it because we could help defend the town? I'm gonna roll a persuasion check.
That'd be a
Don't
deception
even give
check.
him a chance.
Is
to
it
talk.
deception? That's still +5. All right. Oh shit! That's 24.
Okay.
Yeah, 24.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I found Gus as a baby, and
Gus.
yeah, and he's like he's kind of like a pet, he's like a member of the family, really.
All right. So,
And Gus is like in a hovel, like all fucked up and like, oh no.
He's like, I mean,
pain.
we can go find out. I might be able to get some venom.
okay. So, what is like his plan is to go with John,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as he sees the spider, to cast healing word.
I see it first.
It's like just like you're okay. It's fine. You're okay.
So you walk into the back, and John's going like, "Here, Gus. Here, Gus." Dude, he usually comes when I call him. You call him? He's like, "Oh, maybe he's down in his den," and he like opens up the trap door. So you quickly like on the sly are like, like real quick.
Yeah.
How many points does that heal for?
I'm gonna cast it at the 3rd level.
Just to, like dump a heal, like
Yeah.
healed spider creature.
So it's gonna be 3d4 plus 4. 3, 6. Damn, 3, 3. So that's 9 plus 4. So that's 13 hit points. It gets healed for.
So Gus comes scurrying out of the top, sees you, and immediately says, "Ah!" Like one of those like, if spiders made noises. Yeah.
It's like a
and like
horrific hiss.
and like it kind of like rears up, and like the front, legs come up in the spider like death pose. It's and he's like, oh, well, he's not taking too kindly to you. I don't.
Yeah, well, the security test might have been a little bit startling for him. I apologize. I'm really sorry about that. We probably should have told you before, but then it wouldn't have been a very good test, you see, because you would have known about it, and then you could have prepared for it or whatever. The whole point is so that you wouldn't know about it, so that and then it's a good test, a proper test.
Well,
So yeah,
let's get another deception check
yeah, all right,
as we start digging that hole deeper.
yeah.
I'm gonna get asked about this. I just know that Hugo is gonna get asked.
16.
Like, where do you get the nerve
Yes.
to declare surprise security tests of shops? And I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So it's a 16.
He goes, oh well, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let me see what I can do. If you give me a few minutes, let me see if I can get some of that for you.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate it. He's still playing song, and it's still going out to the people working.
So it's
Like
got the
the whole
remote
time.
PA system.
Yeah.
Drenmai.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've been slowly leading Thunic through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Potato Scouts are helping you, like pointing out the places where you are best to hide. But as you get a little bit deeper, both of you give me a perception check, or you could do a nature check if you feel like that would be more appropriate. I can accept either one.
I'm gonna go nature then because I'm better at that. Didn't matter. That's 5.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I achieved at an 18.
18. All right. So, Dren, you're too engrossed in your tracking right now. You're too locked on to this signal, and you can feel that you're getting close. Thunic, you start to notice that there actually are no more birds making any noises. In fact, it's like eerily quiet.
Thunic stops in his tracks and kneels down, doing his best to seem like an errant boulder.
Boulder form, assume.
And Drenmai, you can see you're really sensing that this, whatever this tendril, this thread is, that it is very, very close.
My Nomi senses.
Your Nomi sense is tingling.
Mm-hmm. I'll just keep
And now Thunic is like knelt down into his boulder form. Have this large breathing, ears twitching. I mean, because the Firbolg have like these big pointy ears, right? If I remember the.
Yeah, they have largish pointy ears.
And I just
They're
imagine-
almost basically like extra large gray elves.
And I just imagine every now and again that there's like these little twitches, you know, like almost involuntary.
I can see that. Sort of like when a dog gets a little itch at the end of its ears, just starts going.
Yeah.
I can also sort of see him like almost pointing them in directions,
Like doing the horse thing, like
like or more like just they're
perked up. Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can also maybe almost read his mood based on that.
Yeah, if he's sad, like the ears are like down.
Yeah.
You know, when he gets chastised.
I guess, I mean, do I feel like the tendrils are right around me?
Yes, you feel like.
You are among the tendrils.
I'm among the sky octopi.
The skoctopi.
The skoctopi.
Makes it sound like a octopus ska band.
Yeah, I was about to say some
That's
kind of
even more
ska
awesome.
band.
That's I apologize to the world for that image that I just created inadvertently. Forgive me if I
Octoska.
know not what I do.
It's a whole new genre, man.
Yeah.
I bitterly regret.
The opening band will be Phascominal.
No.
I'll just kind of do my Arcaninus and see if I can't locate like where it might be hitting so I can try and figure out what the deal is. That's
Yeah.
a 14.
You have a pretty good idea. You're close enough now that you think you could zero in on exactly where it is.
Okay, so I want to go where that is.
Are you taking? Are you riding your capybara mount or are
No,
you
I probably would climb down.
time to a tree so he doesn't
Yeah,
wander off?
stay here. You know, don't pee on the children or something. I don't know. You went the dog route, so it's like no.
No, put that
Give
down.
him
Put
a
that down.
stick to
Get that out of
chew
your mouth.
on. Yeah.
That is not food.
No.
Is that a stick? Is that a stick? Oh God, it's poop. Oh God, why were you eating poop? Dog owners understand.
They do. So yeah, I'll go where do I feel like it's landing?
I mean, so you can start like sort of working your way through the brush
Okay.
and start like kind of, because from your perspective, it's a very different forest, right? There are many places to hide. Probably one of the reasons why the Potato Scouts are so good at it. You know, a lot of them are not too much bigger than a gnome, so you're able to find, and you're able to start working your way around. And are you doing a sneak or are you just crashing on through?
Do I feel with the sky skoctopi, do I feel like it's bad? Like, do I feel like it's a evil presence?
It's not good.
It's not good. Okay, then I'm gonna do a snack.
Okay, so let's get a a snack attack.
Let's see
don't know,
what the significance of the snack is.
That's a 21 snack.
A 21 snack.
You
Okay.
snack good. Well,
I'm a good snacker.
She's good. She's good at
you
being
snack
small.
You're an adept snack.
She's smalled very well.
I'm a small. I do a small snack.
Do
So
a
it's
small and a snack.
Yeah.
At some point, it's almost like Dren slithering on the ground like a snake, like coming through. Very, very Grinch-like, you know.
I went spider form. Now I'm doing snack form.
And you're able to get to like the edge, and I almost imagine it's like the bush, like, you know, like one of those. Just the goggles are pointing out,
Yeah,
and
you just see goggles and like a bit of my nose.
and you can see this. It looks like now, like a war camp.
Created of what kind of creatures do I see?
You see gnolls. You see
Bastards.
some large bipedal wolf-looking creatures. You see some bipedal.
Puppies! Jumps out of the bush. No, I'm just kidding.
You see some bipedal badger-looking creatures.
Oh boy.
One that's especially rough and seems to be barking orders at the other creatures.
Bipedal badger.
Honey badger.
Gnolls of various sizes. You see one gnoll that is absolutely enormous, like larger than anything you've ever seen, and it seems like he's got these like dog-like creatures on all fours, like kind of like around him. But you can see like they're actually not barking; they're making the sounds of like it sounds like screaming people. Like someone who's being, the noise they make, and as they do that, like some of the other gnolls start laughing as they make this noise.
Yeah.
And then you see two humanoid figures in black cloaks with masks on their faces. One's dragonborn with the mask. The other one looks human. You recognize the armor and masks of both, and you can sense that one of those tendrils, ever so fine, it's seriously like a microfilament, seems to somehow be attached to the one that you've previously identified as Marcus Valander. And it seems that there is another of one of these tendrils that's attached in some way to this dragonborn creature, whatever it is, the one that stole your lantern. And in this war camp, you can see inside this tent, just on the inside of the tent, you see something shiny and familiar. You can see your lantern. And that is where we will end our game this
1v1 me
week.
right now!
That's great.
Bring it on!
I'll 360 no scope you. Yeah, great kid.
That is where we're going to end our game this evening. So, hey, for the folks that were watching today, thank you very, very much for tuning in to our silly, silly little game. We absolutely love and appreciate each and every one of you in your own special way. We are going to be back in just a minute with an abbreviated version of Table Talk, where we will discuss favorite moments of the game, if we have any MVPs or employees that we need to nominate for Employee of the Month, and that guy right there, and and any other things that we can, any other sort of things. If you have any questions you want to throw at the group, absolutely put them up in the chat, and we will talk about them too. So we will be right back. Give us just the shortest of moments. You can probably hold your breath. We'll be back that fast. So we'll be right back.
It's
Maybe
fine.
now.
Keep breathing.
Okay, good. I held my breath.
And we are back. So, all right, we're going to do our Cartesian coordinate check to see who gives us first moment of the game. And that goes to quadrant 1, which would be The Viking
Oh, no.
goat.
That way. I
Captain
don't know which way
Barrowman.
it is.
Yes.
Eno's interaction with the spider parent.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was half expecting any moment to because I couldn't tell if Eno was still being affected by the poison.
I mean, can you ever really?
Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Eno
It
is a
might be permanent.
mysterious creature. You can never know his true state.
It's character development. Now he can descend into a whole other subplot of his horrible addiction to spider venom.
Oh God, I hope not. That'll be awful.
It's like Green Arrow, but for D&D.
But worse.
Oh god.
He starts picking
Because
up the
it involves
caltrops later.
Enormous.
Yeah, just like licking.
Oh wait, there's poop on these. Oh,
Oh, but whoa, that poop is something awesome.
No, come on.
these are the sorts of fetishes we will not.
Listen,
engage.
listen. There's people that drink coffee that's been purposefully pooped through animals. So
Yeah, I know.
No
seems like
fecophilia.
chocolate.
it's
I do not approve of that. That is animal
It's
abuse.
not like actual chocolate. It's the actual bean, the digestive acids in the. Anyway, it's you don't
It's
eat the
pooped
bean.
coffee.
It's just
Well-
really gross.
It's the whole
Yeah.
concept.
And
abuse.
cheese is like bacteria poop.
But I'm okay with bacteria poop,
And it's cheese.
and it's cheese.
Come on.
Until it gets to
Cheese
the
can
blue
really
cheese
do no
level.
wrong.
Until no, it eventually can do a lot of wrong. But
Well,
there's
and even though, even rotted, that cheese has purpose.
but to warn the other cheeses of what will happen to them if they don't play
Well, I
the
mean,
game.
pitch it into a compost. but Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to
Compost, fine. Don't make it into blue cheese.
let us move on to quadrant 2.
It's me.
It is you. You.
I was super impressed with Eno's song to the Carpenters.
Yes.
Or was it the Carpenters? or
Miners.
The Miners.
Yeah. Well, the miners and then the Smiths.
Fucking choice. That was amazing.
Thanks.
His little Bob Dylan moment there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was excellent.
It's good.
Was
and
that-
it worked, which
was-
was the best part.
Was that pre-written or was that off the cuff?
I came up with it like, well, see, we didn't meet last week,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I came up with it mid the week before.
Ah, okay.
Like,
Oh.
yeah.
So
So
you've been sitting on it and like waiting
Yeah.
and
so
waiting
like
been
when we did
marinating.
play last week, I was like, fuck, I wanted to say,
just to unleash it.
I can't, I gotta get it out.
was.
No,
I got a song trapped in my soul.
no, I just came up with it.
That was excellent. That
Well,
was
it was
very
brilliant.
excellent. Yes, it was.
I still maintain that you not only should you have gotten inspiration, but he should have also had to burn one of his evil dice.
I burned a couple already.
Still have
There are
a
still 6.
few, and they're concerning.
Quadrant 3.
That's me, I guess, right?
Mhm.
It is you.
So the Spirit Guardians again. I think I already voted for those like a few weeks ago, but such a great spell.
It is a great spell.
And just like picturing Thunic and Dread on a hunt through the woods, and then you come across these gnolls and you start eviscerating them. It's great.
Everything is fine. Like bug reports are being made. We found a cool rock. Trees being blessed, and the 4 being worshipped, and then berserk switch. Go.
Right.
And then death.
Defilers.
It's like
Yeah,
nature, nature, death. Nature.
Well, if you think about it, death is part of nature.
It's
But
You
this
true.
is like
You've effectively mulched them.
this is like going from like nice, like relaxing, like jazz to like a measure of like black metal,
Hmm.
and then right back to like the relaxing nature.
Somebody kicked on like Meshuggah in the middle of like.
Just-
And then and it's like 3 bars and then it's done.
We hit the 3 bars of iced earth and then on to everything else. Quadrant 4.
I'm gonna have to go. Hugon showing that little bit of soft side with Tadell
Interesting.
Yeah.
because it was like, but it's all for good purpose.
Because I don't
Like,
want you. Because I don't
I
want you
don't-
to die.
Well,
I
it's a
don't want
lot
you-
of paperwork if you die.
Yeah, and then it's just like I'm making you my prodigy and like showing just all that kind of like the little bit of mushy side.
Well, her being a
I'm
willful
like-
child, you have to give her something in order to get something, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yes.
Where are her parents?
But
Why do they
it
keep
was-
letting her hang out with me?
She has terrible parents. I think we've established
Yes,
this,
they
like,
do.
multiple times
Well,
over.
we've established that mom has some issues.
Okay, mom can be
Issues?
forgiven. Dad,
Dad's a pacifist,
dad not
Dad's very
forgiven.
much a
but
pacifist.
is understanding the reason why. And let's face it, sometimes the oldest kid just kind of wants to do their own thing. Just they're the wild child, you know. It's I can speak from experience.
There could not be a worse role model. There really couldn't.
I don't know. We could probably challenge accepted.
No, listen, like you would just teach her like chaotic and dangerous behavior. I'm teaching her
Exactly.
violence. Like carefully applied, thoughtfully applied murder.
Well, listen. Sometimes you need a mommy and a daddy. There's the family you're born with and the family you choose,
Exactly.
and or
There's nothing
actually you
saying
have-
I'm
you
not
have
going to
Auntie
teach her how to
Dren.
blow something up.
right. You have
Mhm.
Auntie Dren, who she already has been hanging out with in the shop,
Mhm.
and then you have Uncle Hugon.
Who is a tremendous bastard. But
And-
I guess his parents are cool with it.
But you're still looking out for her best interest, which I think is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Best is
Subjective.
that's a subjective.
It's a. I don't know. Man. Okay, so the song was awesome.
Yeah. What's yours,
Um,
DM?
I'm trying to think of just one because there was a lot of fun ones today.
I got to say cheese really loud. I liked that too.
That there was the waking up to that, the bringing you out of plant mode.
The sun is cheese? What?
The sun is
The
cheese.
sun is cheese.
What? That's the new battle cry.
I need
was
that on a t-shirt.
specifically for that. I was hoping that it was just like the window pane shadow. Like it was blocking the sun. It was like something really simple, and it turned into this crazy arcane tendril.
I was
horseshit.
I was thinking about using prestidigitation to clean the windows, but I didn't. I was like, I just let it go.
Sometimes the simplest solution is the best. I think it's. I really do think. I think it's Stunnick going ape.
Yeah.
I think it's him doing. If you've ever seen the video of the Pandolin destroying a wall,
It wants those ants, and it wants them right now.
I don't think I have seen that.
oh,
need to look
we'll
it up.
we'll put that up in the hangout of the Discord for people to see. There's a Pandolin just going absolutely ham on a wall.
On a nice wall too. Which is
yeah,
so funny.
and it
Like
just
a
wasn't
marble
without even
factory.
trying. It was just like.
Oh, I see an ant back there.
just ripping it.
Like
Yeah, I think
all of your
it-
concrete. Fuck your concrete.
I think it was Stunnick going absolutely ham because when I first read about the Fearbolgs, in is that Volos or Morningkai?
It's in Volos.
Yeah, Volos, where they said they're very peaceful creatures until they're not,
Until they
and
cease to
then
be.
and then like the stone giant, like the frost giant comes out of them, like that giant just comes flying out, and they've said it's like it is an absolutely terrifying thing when you get an army of Fearbolg who show up when you're because there is no negotiating at that point. That's like, no, that's how we gave you that opportunity, many times.
There was a line, and you crossed it
Yeah.
so many times.
So, but I am also I'm very excited for where you guys are heading. So
Yeah.
It'll be
I
fun.
have. I need to roll a
Eventually.
fate die to see if I go after that or not.
Or we die. There's
Yeah,
that.
or I'll die because I'm gonna go charging into a camp full of
1v1 me. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have plans for all of these contingencies. There are always plans.
Next week on T-Rex Dread Dice.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Very
I
possible.
certainly hope not, because you'll get a whole bunch of potato scouts killed.
That's true too. Do as I say, not as I do. Go home.
I
Whatever you
love
do.
that- Oh, Hugon is going to be so mad at you all.
Whatever
He's
you
gonna
do,
be so furious.
don't tell Hugon I'm about to do this. The sun is cheese.
Yeah. Mm, mhm.
So anyway, okay. So I also like that there's going to be plans that are being installed in Buck. I do agree. Something that was mentioned in the Discord was that what was it that Profa would probably want one. Was that what it was? Of the weapons, the newly minted. We got to name these things.
I
You
mean,
name everything.
I don't know what to call them. So
We'll figure it out.
I mean,
Yeah.
to me, they're a simply functional.
You know what?
They're
I
just-
think I
they're
know.
just really good at killing.
I think I know exactly who we should tweet about this. I think someone who's very, very good at naming things.
Email Jerry.
Oh,
I
well.
was gonna say some of you know him as Tycho Brahe of Penny and Kate and Pax, also known as Omen.
Jennifer K. Horkins.
Jerford K. Horkins and Omenifus Heward Drawn.
Hereward Drawn, yes, all of these things. I think he might be the guy. So I might send him a tweet. Maybe we should all send him a tweet. I don't know. We'll figure out something. We should all
Jerry, name our shit.
name this. We need a name for this thing.
I have to be on there Tuesday, so I'll just ask him.
Oh, it looks like our Discord link is expired.
What?
Then update that.
Uh-oh.
I can
Nightbot.
update it.
Are they going to be back in the studio on Tuesday? Because I know they were on vacation, both of them.
Yes.
Well, vacation was Eric getting his fluids drained.
Yeah. Stop saying that. Stop.
It's exactly what happened. He
I
had
don't
35
care.
pounds of fluid
Like-
drained.
Listen, there's a sphere, right? And inside are things that I care about. And I don't care about the truth of the word fluid draining. I want it to stop being said.
Is it draining or is it the word fluid?
No, what it is I work in hospitals and in healthcare primarily, and have for the last 5-6 years. And there's suction machines, okay, that are specifically for the draining of fluids from places,
Mm.
and they hang on the walls of hospital rooms, and they are full of foul corruption, and I have to put up with it every time I go into these rooms and like deal with it. And it sucks.
So
And
how are you
my-
about the word moist?
I don't give a shit about that.
Okay, because some people just have a thing about the word moist. All right. But anyway, what any recommendations from the crew this week for things to watch, view, see, or play?
I really want to try and get some Gaslands played. I may have to re-download Tabletop Simulator.
I've been watching copious amounts of Overwatch League, so I haven't been really watching anything of substance. We're coming up to the end of it, so there's lots of cool stuff going on.
Ah,
I'm probably going to keep painting stuff this week.
Yeah, push more. You need to put up more pictures. I like the
Well,
pictures.
that's the first one that I've ever done. So
hmm.
I know. I'm enjoying it. So you need
yeah,
to put up
I
more
have to
pictures.
really use less, be much more judicious with my blue usage because it's like midnight,
Mhm.
like midnight blue right now, and it's too dark.
Hmm.
So I need to do something
Mhm.
about that.
It's cool though.
I like the way the contrast paints work. It makes painting a complete breeze. Like I think I was going very
Yeah.
slowly and carefully, and I painted that mini in an hour. And I was trying very hard to be very careful. So
Yep. I will not be painting my little Dren mini until I've finished sculpting the bits. I've got part of the dragon done. I'm working on the lantern. Making like this size lantern with little crystals inside is not easy.
Oh,
It's
the
a tiny
things we
sculpt.
do. The things we do. So I know I've been kind of teasing at this for a little bit, and maybe this is my idea. Kind of in this has evolved. I really want to do a tactical D&D game at Unplugged. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Okay.
But
I have many.
Excuse for people to get minis, but I was wondering, would it make sense if the tactical game happened to occur during an Acquisitions Incorporated franchisee convention?
That would be super funny.
So you know, like, so you know, like
Oh, I
if
get
you're
it,
a
I get
friend,
yes to the conventions in each other.
Well, it's very meta, right? But it's like anytime you're a franchisee of larger companies, they always bring all the franchise owners together for like these annual conventions, like rah rah, You know,
Right. They're annoying and they're generally horseshit.
well, you usually get some cool swag, and
Be
there's
like a satin tote or
well,
some other like stress ball nonsense.
exactly. But
I'll
I'm wondering
talk
if
to
that would be
Amy
a
and see
cool
if she wants to
setting.
join. That'd be fun.
I wonder if that'd be a cool setting if for like all the other franchise, because we know we got a few other franchise. We have the one that just opened up,
Whispering Pines.
Whispering
Mhm.
Pines, which is just right by Candlekeep.
Yes.
Um,
And near and Tethir.
yeah, and you know, I mean, they're popping up all over the place. So what if it
Yeah.
were just, hey, we're this year's convention happens to be at this one place in the Chondawood or somewhere.
I think
and-
it would be pretty awesome to establish a franchise, like a mass franchisee tactical game.
Mhm.
Except, like, instead of like tactical combat, it's like marketing and like recruiting and like you
We
know,
need to have a
sabotaging
recruiting
people's booths.
So instead of rolling damage, the damage is representing you wearing them down until they say yes to.
Or
whatever
it's
you're
like,
pitching
oh,
them.
like you steal some of their swag and repurpose it and be like, oh, here, like, and their hit point total is like attracted guests, and you start taking them away. So your health point totals are
Oh, I love every
based
minute
on
of this.
your audience.
We need to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
It'd be
We
ridiculous.
need to get in touch. Well, that means we need to get in touch with Whispering Pines and a couple of the other franchises.
Oh yeah. I love all of this.
Have a conversation. I mean, shit. The Penny Arcade Discord is probably full of them.
Yeah, JD Lee,
So-
like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, like that. I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We need to poach people.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
I love
amazing.
Hey folks. Do any other? So we know any what's on late to the game this week?
I started it because I couldn't get my hands on it on a console emulator that I liked. But I'm currently playing the remake of Resident Evil 2.
Oh nice.
Oh yes.
It's very scary.
Is that Mr. X,
it's
like
so
X gonna give
good.
it to you, kind of guy? Like the big burly dude who just like pushes through doors.
I have not run into that. I don't know.
Well, you need to watch a couple of YouTube videos because they replaced the music and like sound effects that happen with DMX X gonna give it to you, and
Oh,
also
really?
Thomas the Tank Engine, which is
Oh yeah.
hilarious.
Thomas the Tank is scary as hell. Jesus Christ.
is.
No, we don't need to visualize that.
Ah!
Indoor
Yeah,
Adventures also
no.
has Acting franchise on their Salt Marsh game, but they don't tend to be active in Shadow Council. So I can. Oh yes, please do, JD Lady, please do.
Yeah, that would be fantastic
Yes.
because this
This-
won't happen if we don't have other franchises.
This sounds
to,
like
to
fun.
hurt.
So all right, but we got a jet. So we will be back next week with a brand new, all-inclusive game of Innomine. No, not that one.
Nope.
No, of Dungeons and Dragons Team X, and
With
we'll-
possibly future dead characters.
with possible death and
Listen,
destruction.
death happens.
Death is going to happen one way or another. It's just a matter of whose.
Who's
So-
and when?
So guys, thank you very, very much for watching our silly little game. Thank you for sticking around for Table Talk, and we will see you all on the interwebs. So,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.